also MSNBC was also lauding, Morning Joe was lauding AOC's this great leader. We have a new pope in town. I want to talk about Leo the 14th. I want to bring my first guest, David Zier, host of Breaking Point on Real America's Voice. David, thanks for joining us as always. David, towards the end of last week, a pope was announced, Pope Leo the 14th, right? And what are you, being a good Catholic boy here, I went to St. John's, obviously, in the great Smithtown, Long Island, I believe it was, right? And what do you see? Is it was more of the same as lately we've had these progressive popes? Or what's your read on the media? We know the media would love it if he's a massive progressive and can fight the big bad old Trump administration. But what are you reading out of the new pope?
Yeah, well, he was a relatively obscure figure. He wasn't out in public a lot, but the media was pushing for him a few days before him becoming the Pope. And I think it was because they were lobbying for him because they know that he's another social justice warrior like Pope Francis was. And the Catholic Church has lost a lot of support. So maybe they picked an American Pope as well for the fundraising aspect. But I'm a parishioner. I go to Catholic Church every Sunday pretty much. And I've seen a lot of people walk away. The parish's attendance has been down, especially since Pope Francis was pulling his rainbow justice, social justice, climate change, communistic, globalist agenda. I hope it doesn't continue that way, but it appears that he's of a similar cloth.
It's sad because what haven't they have infected, right? Even the church doctrines that it pretty much says it in the Bibles, and they've wokeness and all this other social justice warrior stuff. It's even infected the Catholic Church. Let's hopefully not. He's not that progressive. That's for the future. Let's just pray, right? So I want to look at this story. I want to go show you this cut one. It's from MSNBC. Jonathan Lemire, one of the hosts, had that assistant FBI director, and what she accused them of hanging out at nightclubs more than working. Kash Patel. Let's go to cut one. Watch this, David.
What do you make of that he's just been a little less visible than I think a lot of people, Trump observers, expected he would be?
Yeah, well, reportedly he's been visible at nightclubs far more than he has been on the 7th floor of the Hoover building.
Oh, really? It wasn't long before we got this correction.
And now let's circle back to a segment from Friday's show. Frank Figliuzzi was on that morning during this hour discussing the work of administration officials. At the end of that segment, Figliuzzi said that FBI Director Kash Patel has reportedly been more visible at nightclubs than at his office at FBI headquarters. This was a misstatement. We have not verified that claim.
David, that's pretty comical that, he's standing there and he's, accusing Kash Patel, who was probably just confirmed 2 months ago. How's he going to have any time to be at nightclubs? And they allowed that on MSNBC. The things that they will go to in such an early time in the administration is almost beyond the pale, right? What do you think of that?
I worked with Kash Patel and interviewed him several times. He is sharp, razor sharp. As a tack here. And they don't go and give him credit with Pam Bondi for the 48,000 pounds of drugs that were offloaded in Port Everglades a month ago, worth $509 million, and the arrest of 205 pedophiles and human traffickers arrested involving 114 victims. And then you got the House, right, in cahoots with the media bashing Kash. Blue-haired liberal Rose DeLauro from Connecticut grilling Kash. And then Kash shoots back at her and says, listen, I was a victim of weaponization of the government and the media, to paraphrase, and the FBI, by the FBI, and now I'm the head of the FBI and I'm cleaning it up. And he also, has done so many other incredible things in the short amount of time. And I have some more stats here on what they've done at the border. It's just exceptional.
I know, and the biggest bust of fentanyl early in the week, biggest child predatory, capture early in the week as well. So they're doing amazing work in such a quick amount of time. We're only into, the media sitting there. I'm watching CNN, MSNBC, poll after poll, micro charting all these polls. We're 2.5, 3 months into administration, and It's nonstop polls for, really, I mean, how does anything even to take into effect? The media is doing everything in their damn powers to make the administration look bad. It's really pathetic. But I want to go to this next cut. It's Morning Joe talking about AOC as the frontier, the pioneer, the root of the party. Let's go to cut 2. Watch this, Joe.
AOC may be more progressive than a lot of people. I also understand that she's one of the most articulate, exciting people in the Democratic field. She goes out with Bernie Sanders, and yeah, she just draws so many people. It's very good, very effective in hearings. They need somebody young like AOC. And again, it's not about ideology. She can carry the message forward for a Democratic Party that really needs to reach out to younger Americans.
Yes, let's have a look at just how articulate and impressive AOC is, prepared to be dazzled by her rare genius.
Even as a waitress, if any of you all else have gone like completely mad,
it's like whatever, and like, or whatever, like, just like, it's like this, what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and places where Palestinians are experiencing.
If she was a Republican, David, there would be comedy. It's great fodder there for late night talk shows, mid talk shows. But she's a liberal, and the Morning Joe actually said she's the most exciting thing the Democrats have. If that's the most exciting thing, you better go get recruitment 2025. You better go on college campuses, Democrats, because you're in a sad state of affairs. If AOC and Bernie are your two saviors running around on a private jet, and Bernie early in the week justified it on Brett Baer. He says, well, I have to go to, how am I going to get to see 30,000 people? So we have to take the private jets. So lecture us, don't follow lecture everybody else, and then do what you're the opposite of what you're saying. What do you think about the talent, and what do you think what Morning Joe said about AOC?
Well, Morning Joe, said he also undersold Biden when he said, that Biden was cogent and better than ever last year, and analytically and intellectually the best Biden ever. He also said that victory was in sight for Kamala 3 weeks before the election, lying to the American public. But listen, AOC, even though she's not knowledgeable, she's certainly not an intellectual. She is popular, and she's young, and she's attractive, and she's getting a little better at her messaging, and it's something to watch for. I don't know, though, because she's in a 70%, 80% Democratic district in New York City here, if she's able to survive in the wild and in, close districts, especially swing states. I don't think her message will resonate. And maybe she can implode even more than Kamala Harris did, because she's bound to put her foot in her mouth on the national stage more and more as they march her out. She has gotten better. I want to know why she's worth so many millions of dollars when 4 years ago she couldn't afford her Washington Navy Yard apartment, though. That's right. What I really want to know.
Like, David, most of the senators we have, Kirsten Gillibrand and Chucky Schumer, are more moderate than her. I don't think she would do. I don't know how she would do if she ran in a district on Long Island or if she ran statewide. Give me your final thoughts. I had this quick final thoughts on this New York Sun article I had to show, but it was 60 Minutes, how they deceptively edit that final Kamala interview worse than we thought. Final thoughts here.
Yeah, well, I remember the book by Bernard Goldberg. He was an anchor on 60 Minutes. The book Bias, I read that back in 2003. This is nothing new. This is the same old. And 60 Minutes aired the grievances of two laid-off USAID workers under Trump, but they failed to mention even one of the leftist DEI government-sponsored USAID wasteful programs around the world. So they're not balanced. At one time, they were kind of, but it's been over.
Got to go, David. Thanks for joining us. Coming up, the media's hypocrisy when it comes to ending the war in the Middle East. And why is the president, Trump, POTUS, continuously doing favors for the network, rewarding such terrible behavior, I would say. That and more coming up on Media Exposed.
Liver health is important, but do you know how important it is? What I have been doing that I have been really loving has been taking a shot of dose every single morning. It's so easy to be consistent with because it tastes really, really good. Here is to liver health.
Is your body ready for summer?
We're gonna build a body you can be proud of. You just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days, and I promise you, the weight will come off.
This is 21 Day Fix, the perfect program to get you summer ready.
I am in perfect shape for my bikini.
I had that sexy little bee.
Get simple fitness, simple nutrition, fast results in just 21 days.
Get ready for summer with 21 Day Fix. This week, try it free at 21dayfix.com. That's 21dayfix.com.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your signature on one document, uses one fake notary stamp, they then take out loans using your home equity, and the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. This right here is why you need to use Home Title Lock.
Find out if you're already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
Parents, America's faith is fading. Schools are pushing out God, leaving our kids adrift. We created the Kids Guide to our One Nation Under God so you can share the faith and heritage that built our nation. And right now you can get it for free at freegodbundle.com. That's freegodbundle.com.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active than before? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it.
It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is perfect cook technology for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system, all for just $39.99. Order now.
Welcome back to Media Exposed. I tell you, dear Mr. President, stop rewarding bad behavior. Legacy media will never love you the way you were once beloved in New York City as a celebrity, as a builder, as such an influential figure in New York City. But you still end up giving them exclusive after the 100-day mark. Trump's interview last week with Kristen Walker and Terry Moran were chopped up to smear him while keeping the beat. Why keep feeding the beast? They need him way more than he needs them. And POTUS only giving ammunition to the late night fodder, to the other media outlets. It becomes a couple of day news cycle. Even after the Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg made himself the left's hero by revealing the signal chat that he was he was supposedly added into, he invited him to the White House. Give them time to expose more of their background chatter and talk more nonsense. The Beltway crowd wants Trump's downfall, not his approval. It's time to cut them off once and for all. Give them exclusives to hostile media. Is like inviting your worst enemy to dinner. Stop boosting their ratings, Mr. President. Yeah, it's a new era, a new time. I want to bring my next guest in, Caitlin Sinclair. Caitlin, it was kind of like give me a headache because you gave Kirsten last week. Hey, thanks for joining us. You gave Kirsten Walker, NBC, an exclusive, and it was one question after next question, negative question. I'm like, and then it becomes a news cycle because all the legacy media picks it up, and then it goes to late night comedy. Like if you lived in your house and somebody's throwing rocks at you for 10 years, spray painting your driveway, hates you and your family. Do you invite him over for dinner? Simple question, right? You don't. I don't know why he feels this need.
That'd be one offer dinner.
He feels this need to be loved by the mainstream legacy media. You broke the legacy mainstream media. Carolyn Levitt's given all these alternative media seats. And yet, for the big 100 days, he brought in the Terry Moran ABC, the Atlantic, and Kirsten Walker, 3 outlets that can't stand them, that despise these conservatives. And, I wanted to play this clip here. Let's go to cut 4. I want to show you how they chopped it up.
President Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press. The economy shrank in the first quarter. You've been arguing all week that this is President Biden's economy. Is this now your economy, sir? Are you only taking ownership of the good numbers and not the bad numbers? When does it become the Trump economy? The stock market dropped. It's been volatile. It has since gone up. Do you take responsibility for that? Are you saying that your tariffs will cause some prices to go up? But you said some dolls are going to cost more. Isn't that an acknowledgement that some prices will go up? You're basically saying there could be some supply shortages because of the tariffs. Prices are already going up on some popular items, tires, strollers.
This is such a dishonest interview already.
So you're saying the prices that are going down, some prices are going up. You campaigned on a promise to bring prices down on day
I don't know what
one.
you said.
But what do you say to Americans who say they voted for you because they want and they need relief? But you said even dolls could cost a couple bucks more. How long should people expect that transition to last? Small businesses say they are being hurt by the Chinese tariffs and some could be forced to shut down.
And many businesses are being helped.
I'm just asking you about small businesses. Are there any discussions about giving any relief? Are these tariffs permanent, Mr. President? There's a lot of, I think, uncertainty for CEOs, for business owners. Some people on Wall Street have expressed concerns that the possibility of a recession. Is it okay in the short term to have a recession? You did take your case to court more than 60 times and didn't win those cases.
I won a lot of court cases.
Just to button that up, though, sir. Just to button that up.
What are you talking about?
How
the election?
Worried are you?
Are we talking about the election?
Kayla, I didn't even finish the clip there, but I think we're up to about a dozen negative questions. Usually presidents get a honeymoon. I mean, he's the most historic figure in our lifetime. Almost assassination attempt, winning a second term after losing the term before. Where is any sort of honeymoon? So I'm saying what? And then all those questions, the dolls become a story afterwards, that Trump wants to wake away dolls, and that becomes a story. So gets affected for family and kids. Basic point of a segment I want to ask you, should he be rewarding these legacy big media outlets for, especially these, which is very rare, and, because you were the big correspondent for OAN, very rare to get to sit down with the president, and he shouldn't be treated this way. What's your thoughts?
Well, Adam, I don't look at it as a reward. I think that these legacy outlets continue to do themselves a disjustice. So the Trump administration and Caroline Levitt actually said this week that they encourage people like Kamala Harris, like the Democrats, like the legacy media to continue to speak, to continue to ask questions that the American people can see right through as propaganda, as hyperbole, as inauthentic, and zero transparency coming from any of these mainstream outlets. And the good news is, Adam, on November 5th, there was more than just the winning of this presidency. There was also the death of the legacy media. So the American people, they voted for this. They want the transparent President Trump to go on these networks and make a complete fool out of ABC, out of MSNBC, and out of journalists that ask over a dozen inauthentic questions that actually just have no merit. So I don't look at it as a reward. I look at it as answering what Joe Biden refused to, which was any questions, and give the American people answers that they long deserved. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. That's what the administration claims to do every day. They want to be the most transparent administration in history. And I actually believe this is the way to do so.
And watch what happens in cut, because this is what happens, right? So I want to show you cut 5 here, because Jon Stewart picked it up after this interview.
The point being, yesterday, Trump sat down for an interview with NBC's Meet the Press host, Kristen Welker, and the challenge was clear. The president had to find a way to persuasively take credit for the remaining good parts of the economy, while subtly assigning blame to Joe Biden for the bad on fire parts. Let's see how Trump threaded this rhetorical needle.
I think the good parts are the Trump economy and the bad parts are the Biden economy.
Nailed it. Quick story. I have a niece, 11 years old, loves dolls. I was going to get her 20 or 30 of them for her birthday, just to see the joy of a child. You can't put a price tag on that. It gives me great solace. Anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to take these interviews personally.
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have 30 dolls.
First of all, I don't think we consider 11-year-olds baby girls. Second of all, you don't know what she needs. She's been through a lot this year. How many dolls would you get her? What is the appropriate number of dolls to get a beautiful baby 11-year-old girl, Mr. President?
I think they can have 3 dolls or 4 dolls.
So my point is it ends up being a 2 or 3 day news cycle by giving Kirsten Walker, and that's what we have to live through. And
because they have nothing else, Adam. They have no news. And I want you to know where these comedians were when Joe Biden was going on TV and having press briefings where he couldn't even string a sentence together. Where were the comedians making fun of Joe Biden and his bathing suit on the beach every weekend with Jill Biden? Where were the comedians when Joe Biden couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs? I mean, the jokes just wrote themselves back then, but these comedians, so-called comedians, Adam, were nowhere to be found. Again, the American people see right through this. This isn't comedy. They're making fun of themselves.
Well, the Democrats are a walking comedy skit totally between AOC and Biden and Booker, but that's, we know the media won't call them out. The comedians won't use that.
Don't forget it, Jasmine Crockett. That's
Jasmine
my girl.
Crockett, she's the new one. And, you working with the American Values Pact, I saw this, they pulled the nomination early the week of maybe we can pronounce it, the doctor who was medical doctor, Rashween, we'll have to go back and see that name from Fox. She was a Fox News contributor, and they pulled her out because there was some pullback and push from the right, especially, I think Laura Loomer was really calling her out. But then they nominated Casey Means, doctor who's been a real big advocate in health and wellness. And right away, the media jumped on it. And I saw her heading from Washington Post, called her a wellness influencer. They're at it right away. It wasn't even within 10 minutes they were going after her right away. And this is what we have to deal with in the media. Tell us a little bit about Casey Means, and is she a real doctor?
Yeah, Adam, I'll tell you that Casey Means is exactly the kind of disruptor that we voted for. This is exactly what we voted for, from the border to the broken healthcare system. Donald Trump's administration is rejecting the status quo here. And everyone that elects him on November 5th asks for someone like Dr. Means to embody that exact shift. And that's what she will do. She's a brilliant and will be a very eloquent spokesperson for the MAGA movement. She was first in her Stanford class. Let's just get some facts here. She walked away from Big Pharma, Adam, to actually speak truth about what's really making Americans sick, which is our ultra-processed food, a pharmacological dependence here, and metabolic dysfunction. She's been very outspoken. Yes, she walked away from practicing medicine where she was making a really great living to go to live a more quieter life. She galvanized this entire movement with her interviews on various networks, like Tucker Carlson, for example. And again, she will be such a strong speaker. She is a net win for the MAGA movement. She really gets it. She is bold and will be very effective. So I could not be happier. And these attacks by the media, again, the jokes just write themselves. They're attacking her for maybe not renewing her doctorate, I believe, is what they're saying. When again, I just laid out the facts of how smart this woman is. What a badass she's been in her career.
It was Janet Neshawat, who was a Fox News contributor. And we know Trump loves plucking his talent from Fox News. And I said right away, she was pro-vaccine, she was lockdowns, and is Trump really doing the discovery he needs to do to get the right candidate? And I said that months ago, and they ended up pulling her. I want to thank Caitlin. Thanks for joining us, and good luck on the fight again. Like as always, see you soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Coming up next, when do liberal judges get to determine the future of America? We have the former AG of Utah coming up to discuss this and more on Media Exposed.
FBI calls it house stealing, the latest scam where a cyber thief transfers the title of your home out of your name and steals your hard-earned equity.
It's roughly 60 to 90 days for that person to even figure out that they're the victim of this crime. You start getting foreclosure notices and you realize you've got 4 mortgages on your house that you didn't even know existed.
Unfortunately, it's on you to protect yourself. You might already be a victim. Check your title status now at HomeTitleLock.com.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
It seems local judges, federal local judges, deciding the future of America one courtroom at a time. They're not interpreting the law. They're shaping the country, and it's straight from the left playbook. We shouldn't have this, and we're going to get somebody's great opinion on this. Also, Democrats are screaming, no one is above the law, but back illegal immigrants and weaponize the courts to smear Trump. It's not just hypocrisy, it's strategy. Colorado Dems are pushing gun bans on law-abiding citizens while blocking bills that target real criminals, protecting crime. These liberal think tanks get handpicked judges and then progressively try to change the system of the United States, the legislative system. I want to make my next guest. It's Sean Reyes. He's a former AG of Utah. Sean, thanks for joining us on Media Exposed, your first time here. Thank you.
Great to be with you, Adam.
Sean, I saw this clip on CNN. They actually found a cartel member, and they thought they were going to get at the right answer. I want to go to cut 3 and show you how CNN asked this Sonora cartel member what their view was on Donald Trump after labeling them a terrorist organization. And they thought, what's the answer?
According to the Trump administration, you are a terrorist. I mean, the cartels have been labeled a foreign terrorist organization. What do you make of that?
Está fea la situación, ¿verdad? Está fea la situación, pero pues de todos modos tenemos que comer.
What's your message to Donald Trump if he's watching this?
Los respetos, él tiene que según él buscar lo mejor para los suyos. Pero el detalle que ya están los consumidores, ¿no? Si no hubiera consumidores, pues uno le paraba.
He basically saying, I give the guy respect, right? I don't think CNN expected that. What do you think of that coming out of a cartel member? Because I know you were very involved in drug trafficking, right, in Utah, right? Helping the causes in the border.
Yeah, fighting drug trafficking, yes, and human trafficking, and those things are often intertwined. What a surprise for the interviewer to get that kind of an answer from the cartel. I bring this up because I think it underscores maybe some of the issues that you're talking about, Adam. Now that I've left public office, and people ask, how's life? And you're not right on the other side of cartels fighting on the human trafficking front or the drug trafficking front. Life's a little more relaxed, a little more at peace. And I say yes. And then my wife quickly pipes in and says, yeah, but the media is worse than the cartels, because at least the cartels have some semblance of honor. They have some rules. There's the cartels are motivated by profit, and if things aren't going to help the business, then they tend to not hurt certain types of people like women and children if they can help it. The media, she goes off and says, especially legacy liberal media, they don't care. They have no rules. They'll go after women, children, your family, and so in her mind, life is great because I'm less in the line of fire for the media and cartels in terms of the policies and the cases that I'm working on. But yeah, I think, Adam, that video very well sums up. The liberal media is trying to undermine the Trump agenda.
Sean, have you ever think the media would be so obsessed with Breo from the Venezuelan illegal immigrant that was already put in front of two courts, said his wife has accused him and filed charges against him. They've been obsessed with this case for like a month. Get over it, right? And this is what the media is throwing all their change in for, to fight for this an illegal immigrant in Venezuela, that the senators went over there and Congress went over there and had a big margarita summit. Oh, but he said it wasn't a margarita summit. But that's what the media is fighting for. Isn't it pathetic?
Yeah, that's pathetic is a good word, Adam. And look, I think that the liberal media, as bad as they are, they tend to be more strategically sound. And I have no idea why they've latched onto this particular case, because it's a dead bang loser for them. And everyone who hears it and sees it knows it's a loser. And yet, as you've alluded to, they've glommed onto this and tried to make this the hill that they're going to die on. And I think they're dying right now on that hill.
Yeah. I wanted to show you this. I want to show this article. Was a war against wind. It seems like 17 attorney generals sued the Trump administration against this. And the two things he had, Sean, I want to mention here is, why is Gizmodo, this shows what happens in the Trump administration, Sean, that Gizmodo, which is a tech publication, is actually writing articles about this. It's really a law story. It's a federal government story. It's a state rights story. But what happened the first time around the Trump administration, even tech publications, fashion publications had to get involved because it's Trump. Tell us a little about that story. And is it the state's business to get involved in this, federal government issue?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say, I think that's just a message letter. I don't think substantively that they've thought through very much of that. That's a way for them to stay relevant and look like they're trying to fight the Trump agenda. And in fairness, Republican AGs, we went after the Biden administration and filed hundreds of lawsuits, substantive lawsuits against his agenda. But why is a tech company, a tech publication getting into this fight? It's kind of emblematic of the Democrat all of government approach. They tried to use water to regulate everything under the sun. They tried to use all sorts of different types of, they filed or passed bills that would regulate every kind of right that we have in America. And I think it's similar to them. Their policies are ever present, omnipresent, and they want to be able to, whether it's tech, finance, entertainment, all of those areas to them are part of the resistance to the Trump agenda. And it just shows how powerful Donald Trump is and how powerful the MAGA movement is and how influential all of the policies are that he's putting forward, because it takes that kind of response from, all these sundry sectors to be able to try to withstand what Trump is putting forward. And so it's impressive on the Trump side, and I think it's showing by the desperation on the liberal media.
And, because we see things as most of the things as free market capitalism, let the individual, create his own wealth, create his own opportunity with his family, his community. They look at government involvement in almost every aspect of our lives. That's why they're constantly getting into things. It's ridiculous. And a lot of these left-wing activists are, cherry picking these local judges and are making rulings for the whole country. Does a state attorney general in Utah, when you were the attorney general in Utah, you don't make decisions for New York's attorney general. So this, these local federal judges making decisions for the whole country. Something has to be done about it. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, whether it's the right policy or the wrong policy, that is the reality. Liberal judges and sometimes conservative judges make decisions that don't get appealed or do get appealed and are not accepted by a higher court, and they stand as the law. Whether it should be that way or not, it too often ends up being that way. And Adam, that's why, while many people focus on the United States Supreme Court, and justifiably so, President Trump has made a strong effort and has highlighted the importance of the lower federal courts in having appointments with rule of law-minded judges, with judges who understand the Constitution. And you're absolutely right. One bad judge or one bad decision from a judge can shackle the entire nation. Personally, I don't think one federal judge should have that much control. That's why we have a system that has a high court, the Supreme Court. But since the Supreme Court hears only very, very few cases, relatively speaking, far too often the decision from one federal judge will become the law, certainly in their jurisdiction, but often by extension throughout the country. There have been some limitations. The Supreme Court limited it in the Labrador case last year, and that's kind of tamped that down a little bit.
Sean, I want to show you this clip. It's the Democrats screaming over and over again, "No one is above the law," and then watch how they reverse it.
Sure.
Cut 10 here.
In America, no one is above the law.
No person is above the law.
No man is above the law, no matter what the crime.
And I agree with you. No man is above the law, and no person is above the law.
He has to be held accountable. He's not above the law.
No one's above the law. We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Anybody who breaks the law should be held accountable.
And that no one is above the law.
No one is above the law. Some members of the party are going to El Salvador.
Ari had traveled to El Salvador with 3 other members of Congress.
The health conditions that he has, they're worried that he's not getting the treatment that he needs.
Do you not disagree that he was an MS-13 gang member, Congressman?
Hi, Congressman.
Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of
Sure, you notice the big difference there? They go from one what was against Trump and it was against the January 6s, and all of a sudden illegal immigrants that are flooding our borders, flooding our country, we're defending them. It's almost the defenseless to defend. Give me your final thoughts on that, Sean.
Yeah, they have very selective memory. It's like when I went to law school at Berkeley, they said they were the most tolerant and accepting. Well, that wasn't true. They were tolerant and accepting if you had the same type of ideology, and if not, they were extremely intolerant. That's the same type of mentality we see with the liberal media. So that double standard has existed seemingly from the beginning of time. I don't see it going away, but thank goodness we have people like you, Adam, exposing the hypocrisy of the traditional media. So God bless you, and God bless your listeners and your audience out there.
God bless you, Sean. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you soon. Up next, the lefty press flips on Fetterman, and there is some major reasons why. That and more coming up.
As you get older, your liver health becomes an increasingly important part of the aging process. We created Dose for your liver to make taking care of your liver easy. Dose is an organic blend of liver-supporting ingredients and is clinically backed to promote healthy liver function so that nothing's holding you back.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your signature on one document, uses one fake notary stamp, they then take out loans using your home equity, and the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. This right here is why you need to use Home Title Lock.
Find out if you're already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
Just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days and the weight will come off. You want to know the one mistake most people make when they want to lose weight? They try to overhaul their entire life at one time. My secret is you just commit to 3 weeks at a time.
In 21 days, I lost 10 pounds and 15 inches off my entire body.
Right now, bundle 21-Day Fix with Shakeology, superfood nutrition that helps you lose weight and feel less bloated, and save up to 60%. Just go to body.com today. That's body with an I.com.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching, even moving better.
Nature's Blend works because it's freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, they all get right into your dog's body.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
For a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com now.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
Well, Joe Biden was out in the media tour, and he did The View earlier in the week. We're going to talk about that. And also, John Fetterman, the senator of Pennsylvania, media loved him when he was running against Dr. Oz, when they parroted the Democratic proclamation. Now he stands with Israel, is against woke, has met with Trump, against the lefty American. They're putting out hit pieces on it, a terrible hit piece. Same press that attacked his opponent in 2000, Dr. Oz, for daring to question his mental acuity and his health. Now they're doing the same to him, going after him. Fetterman was praised for seeking help with depression last year. Now they're smearing him for breaking ranks on Israel. Legacy media won't question Hamas, but trashes Fetterman for supporting Israel. Party loyalty at its worst. Meanwhile, Israel wants to end the war and take control of Gaza, stop the bloodshed finally, and the world leaders, mainstreaming, are all up in arms, trashing Israel as usual. What are they to do with their own people? I want to welcome my next guest, Emily Finn, host at American Sunrise on Real American Voice News. Emily, thanks for joining us again.
Great to be here, Adam. I always love being on Media Exposed with you.
Oh, thank you. And what happened early in the week, and I believe it was a Thursday on The View, Joe Biden was on, and they said, Joe, were you really out of it as much as you thought? Because all of a sudden, all these journals, I think there's 3 or 4 books out there from the Washington Post, the New York Times, one from Axios, acting like they were like championing Biden's mental decline and bringing out all these stories about, we all knew it. And where were you for 5 years, right? But Joe said, no, I was fine. But then he went on and said, I had a tough time. When I first came in, it was an insurrection since the Civil War. And millions of people died under the other watch because of COVID. And The View just sat there and didn't say a word. Didn't, question him on his abilities. But it's typical what The View does, right? I wanted to get your thoughts on that because they're rewriting history and they're allowing it to get away with it. And it's ridiculous. But we have to sit here and call them out, the media, because they're trying to be these warriors and they all give themselves pats on the back and give themselves awards on this.
But, I will say The View should be absolutely ashamed of how they handled that interview. I mean, this was the first time that he emerged from his basement for a joint interview, mind you, with Jill, with his
Jill
handler. They did this together. And even she was saying during the interview, I think he definitely could have served for another 4 years. All of America saw that he was not up to the challenge. He was not fit to be able to serve when he debated President Trump, and that was the end of his campaign. What I think is so interesting, though, Adam, is that for all of those years, the media completely ignored Biden. The Democrats, the party, the elected officials completely ignored Biden's mental decline because he was a puppet. You could put a script in front of them and he would read all of it, including the teleprompter cues. I mean, this guy had no idea what was going on while he was in office, but that's what the party wanted. They wanted someone that they could control. They thought the same thing was going to happen with Senator Fetterman. I'm really happy that you brought this up, Adam, because the moment that he gets elected, right, has a stroke on the campaign trail, everyone rallies behind him. He still wins against Dr. Oz. At the time, I thought, oh my gosh, the Republicans, had the worst candidate possible, that you lose to a guy that is literally saying sentences backwards during their debate. It was crazy to see. But the moment that, Fetterman actually gets to Congress, actually gets to the Senate, he's applying some common sense to the Democrat Party. And now is when they're turning on him. Now is when they're saying that he is unfit to serve, that he is unhealthy, that he should resign. His former chief of staff was sending letters to his doctor. I mean, talk about crossing a line there. As long as you are a puppet, it doesn't matter if you are fit to serve. It doesn't matter if you have mental decline. Like Biden, Democrats will still continue to support you. And that's exactly what we saw with the ladies on The View. Biden went up there and said that Trump had the worst 100 days out of any president. Like, seriously? Come on, man. You had the worst 4 years out of any president. You should sit down.
And now, like what you said, Emily, is when Fetterman ran, he was a total mess. Let's put it that way. He had a stroke. But Democrats will put up anybody once they think they're going to win. It doesn't matter if the person's 90. I remember Dianne Feinstein was like 94 years old, maybe somewhere in that range. And she couldn't even speak barely. She was like being run around in a wheelchair, but they never want to lose a seat anywhere. So they'll keep them, breathing on a respirator if they have to for one vote. And God forbid Dr. Oz pointed that out. They weren't after him, the media. God forbid the press, right-wing press, is how dare they go after someone's condition. So I want to show you a cut here, cut 12. And it's about these he slams, the actual story. Watch this.
Yeah, no one's ever seen that. It's a one source story with a couple anonymous sources. Hit piece from a very left publication. There's really nothing more to say about that.
He said he was worried that you're not taking your medications. Are you taking your medications, sir?
Again, the hit piece, anonymous.
I mean, it's amazing that the media asks them, are you taking your medication? That's such a private thing to say to someone. But when the New Yorker runs the article, Emily, one of the first ones, they actually called his doctors too to intrude on his. It's unbelievable. And then what happens is the other press picks it up instead of ignoring it and calling out the New Yorker. The NBC did an article. Fetterman dismisses concerns about his mental health after New York Magazine story. Instead of saying New York Magazine stoops to new lows and Fetterman dismisses it, they say, that way. So it's really bizarre what they're doing to him, all because he's, was a little pro-Israel, I think, and met with Trump. And people in Pennsylvania are common sense people. So I think he's speaking to common sense here. I remember Kamala Harris, it was one staffer the next leaving. One staffer. She's nasty, she's rude, and barely can get that any of those stories in the mainstream media, right? So it's what a double standard here that we're seeing. So what do you think of that and the way the media is doubling down, going after Fetterman?
I think it's the moment that he started to apply common sense to his politics, common sense to his policies, that is when everyone on his team ultimately turned on him. Adam, I want to give you this statistic. This is a poll that came out from the Morning Consult recently, saying that 50% of the respondents actually approved of the job that Fetterman was doing. 50% of respondents. That is huge numbers for someone in politics. And with the Democrat Party in such disarray right now, they are absolutely in shambles. They have no one really that is a clear front runner of who they are going to run moving forward in the 2028 election. The midterms are looking really rough for them as well. Gavin Newsom is their best bet at this point. And so you would think that they would try to embrace someone like Fetterman, who has a 50% approval rating, willing to work with the other side. It really doesn't make any sense. But Adam, I think this is a glimpse into the downfall of the Democrat Party. This is a glimpse into why November 2024 was so miserable for them, why they didn't have the turnout that they had expected, because they simply are not listening to what their people want. They just want to play these identity woke politics, and they don't want to have any common sense try to get in the way of this agenda that they're trying to push on people, Adam.
It's because the media is so woke. And even when people like Fetterman, even Newsom, try to talk common sense, instead of understanding it and writing about it, they go sort of into attack mode. Because I think part of the worst problem of our society is the media. That's why we're here calling them out. And they can't accept that what they write about and what they call out and what they cover a lot is wrong. Most of the American people don't agree with you, and they'll continue on this rampage. What they're doing, it's like the way they're covering Trump 2.0 is almost like same as 1.0. Might even be worse because they're constantly going after his nominees, constantly going after the wrong issues too. I want to show you this cut here, cut 13. It was when Karine Jean-Pierre, Biden's spokesperson, said Biden, it was so good. Watch this.
Again, the president, in his personal conversations with Lieutenant Governor, he finds him to be an authentic, really brave individual.
I really think Fetterman is, the way he was when he ran against Oz was a mess. I think he's come a long way. He's pretty articulate now. I wish he would dress, but I think we need Brian Glenn from our own Brian Glenn to call him out on his dress code, because Brian's been known as the suit whisperer, maybe we can call him. Yeah. He should put a suit on once in a while, because his senators shouldn't be walking around in sweats all the time. But you watch his interviews now, night and day compared to 2022, 2023, right?
Absolutely. I think Fetterman and Zelensky are shopping at the same stores for their outfits there, Adam. But I will say the one thing that I do really, really respect about John Fetterman is that everyone can turn on him. I was reading an article today that it was another hit piece, essentially. At a meeting, he had slammed his hands on the table and had said, why does everyone hate me? It feels like everyone is turning against him right now, but he still is holding true to his values, holding true to what he believes in, despite everyone around him trying to tell him that he should think differently. I think that should be applauded, and that should absolutely be respected. That is exactly what the media tried to do to Trump throughout his entire first term, during his first administration. And look at what ended up happening. You had 4 years of Biden, and the American people woke up to all of this nonsense, all of these lies being constantly peddled in their face on the mainstream media. And they decided, yes, we're going to go with the common sense president. We're going to go with President Trump again. And so I have a lot of respect for Fetterman. Yeah. It'd be the easy thing to do as an elected official who needs the party support behind you to be able to stay in power. It'd be really easy for him to kind of succumb to the party's demands here about what they want him to support. And that's not what he's doing at all.
Emily, thanks for joining us so much. We'll see you soon. Thank you again.
Thanks, Adam. Take care.
Have you been traveling lately and need certain hotels to go for your family, for friends, for big group events? I have a cutting edge hotel booking platform that's easy to navigate. It's AI powered. It's 1.4 million global properties. Been in business for more than 20 years. Go to Hotel Planet today and discover the world. I want to thank my guests today for joining us: David Zier, Emily Finn, Sean Reyes, and Caitlin Sinclair, and Erin and Fran doing a great job in the control room. See you next week on Media Exposed.
Warrior Project empowers post 9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I realized I could be successful in a civilian career.
We stand by warriors and advocate for their needs going forward.
They were by my side in the hospital, and they're still with me today.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
My doctor told me I needed to start prioritizing my liver health.
Dose for Your Liver is a clinically backed supplement that supports healthy liver function.
My stomach feels a lot better.
He has more energy, he sees his grandkids more.
Start your liver health journey today at dosedaily.co.
You worked hard to own your home, and it deserves complete protection because you've secured the doors, windows, and maybe even installed cameras. You've got an insurance for fire, flood, and theft. But there's one critical protection gap that leaves your entire investment vulnerable. Title fraud is a growing scam, and criminals know exactly how to exploit it. Is your home's title still in your name? Check your title now at HometitleLock.com.
Kevin paid off over $12,000 in credit card debt with the help of Consolidated Credit. They cut his interest rates and lowered his payments so he could pay off his debt fast. Call 800-596-8062 for a free consultation.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable.
3, 2, 1. Hey, America, it's Sunday. We're coming to you straight from Washington, D.C.
We're live from the White House with breaking news.
Brian Glenn.
Yes. My question is,
bringing you the stories that matter.
You're putting the American people first. Your thoughts on that?
Thank you. I like that question. Boy, I want more questions like that.
And the conversations you won't hear anywhere else.
It is a privilege to report from the White House.
Why don't you wear a suit? Do you own a suit? I think he's a great guy, by the way.
A superstar in the media world, Brian Glenn.
Trump was right about everything.
Mr. President, I'll take one.
Brian, you're not a stiff.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's Sunday in America with Real America's Voice. Now, here's your host, Brian Glenn.
Okay, fresh week here at the White House on this beautiful Monday morning. Now, there's several things on the agenda for today. The one that got the most attention from me personally was this announcement for a major sports event. Now, there's so much speculation of what that could be. Now, you might think it's, I don't know, we got the Olympics coming to the United States, so that's not it. Super Bowl, that's usually determined by the NFL, years in advance. We kind of know where it's going to be next year. Could it be, in fact, the NFL draft? There's a little bit of rumor swirling around that. We'll check it out to see if that actually is what happens. Plus, he's going to welcome home a citizen of the United States, a very special moment. We don't have a lot of details on that as well, but that is always a good thing when we can welcome someone that might have been in captivity somewhere else, is finally coming home to the loved ones. But just another beautiful day here at the White House. They're cutting the grass. And I've always said, if you think cutting your grass at home is difficult, try doing it here. Look how precise the lines are cut here. You know what? If this TV thing doesn't work out, maybe I'll apply to be the long guy here. Looks like a pretty good gig.
Hello, everybody. It's great to have you. It's a very important announcement. Very, very amazing, I think, for D.C., but even for the country, because it's, to me, a very big deal. I'd like to thank NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, Washington Commanders owner Josh Harris, and Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, Secretary Scott Turner, Secretary Doug Burgum, and I see Howard Lutnick is here too, Commerce, and some others that if I could see past the press, I'd name you, but I can't. I'm pleased to reveal that the 2027 NFL Draft, that's a big thing, will be held right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., on the National Mall. And you get a little glimpse of it. I was just saying to Roger, I don't think there's ever been anything like that. That's a good idea. In fact, maybe we could use it for other things also. I have an idea. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be something that nobody else will ever be able to duplicate that, I don't suspect. It's very exciting. Every year, hundreds of young football players have their dreams come true as the NFL teams across the land, and you just saw that last week, select the best young players in America to join their ranks. Hundreds of thousands of football fans will travel all across our country to cheer them on in person. We expect, would you say, more than 100,000 people, I think. What is the capacity would you think it can hold? Because the mall can actually hold up to 1 million people. If you go all the way back, what do you think?
Over 3 days, we'll be over 1 million.
Oh yeah, you're going to have a tremendous amount of people. Boosting local businesses and bringing jobs and tourism to the heart of our capital. The draft is a celebration of one of our country's most cherished cultural institutions and the annual highlights for football fans everywhere. Everyone in the world is going to be watching. We look forward to welcoming people from across the nation, from all over the world. Last month, the Washington Commanders and the D.C. government also announced a major deal to build a brand new 65,000-seat football arena at the site of the RFK Stadium in Eastern Capitol Hill. And I don't think there's a better site anywhere in the world than that site.
Incredibly exciting.
You know, he's a friend of mine. He's a very successful guy. There's a reason for it. It's amazing. It sat there for years, and people were talking about stadiums in 25 different sites. I said, they're not talking about the best site. That's the best site there is.
Well, Mr. President, thank you. We're honored to be here in the Oval Office, and to have you announce the 2027 NFL Draft is a special treat. So thank you for your support. Also, thank you for your support in the Commanders' new stadium. We agree it's going to be a great site. We think it's going to be great for our fans here, and it's great to come back home. And so we're very excited about that. Josh is leading the way on our behalf, and the mayor, so we thank both of them for that. We also want to thank you because in the first term, you helped us get a Canadian trade deal, which we want to make sure we note again and make
Canada
sure you know.
Canada does not like me too much. They gave a great American company a lot of money that you deserved, frankly. So
well, thank you. The draft has really become one of the great entertainment and sports events. Just a week ago in Green Bay, we had over 600,000 people attend. The year before in Detroit, we had close to 800,000. As the president remarked, we believe we'll be well over 1 million when we come here to DC in 2027. So we not only believe it's a great site, we believe it's consistent with what the president said, which is investing in our communities, investing specifically here in the nation's capital, one that I grew up here in Washington, D.C., and is particularly important. We think we can have a tremendous impact on this community, and it will not just be an event, it will be something that will show the world how far the nation's capital has come and where it's going.
We'll work with you, and we'll try and make the dream come true. And I want to thank you all very much for being here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm back at the studio here. President Trump just wrapping up a press conference in the Oval Office about bringing the 2027 NFL Draft right here to Washington, D.C. Pretty cool. Mayor Bowser joined him, commissioner in the NFL, the owner of the Redskins, or should I say Commanders, there as well. Now, that should be a big event. They're expecting over 1 million people for this. Last year, or say the last NFL Draft we had, about 600,000 people showed up in Green Bay, so much larger attendance here. And of course, I think Mario Bowser has done a great job cleaning up D.C. as far as some of the trash, some of the homelessness around the city. And I know she's going to be a big part of making sure D.C. looks nice and clean. Speaking of nice and clean, this is part of our studio here. Now, we're busy. We shoot several shows on this side and on the other side where you typically see me. I'm back here right now because I got to jump on AVL at 3:20, do a hit there, possibly something in bowling. Got to check that. It always flows, but we always keep an eye on the White House as well to see what comes up later today.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post 9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I realized I could be successful in a civilian career.
We stand by warriors and advocate for their needs going forward.
They were by my side in the hospital, and they're still with me today.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
My doctor told me I needed to start prioritizing my liver health.
Dose for Your Liver is a clinically backed supplement that supports healthy liver function.
My stomach feels a lot better.
He has more energy. He sees his grandkids more.
Start your liver health journey today at dosedaily.co.
You worked hard to own your home, and it deserves complete protection because you've secured the doors, windows, and maybe even installed cameras. You've gotten insurance for fire, flood, and theft. But there's one critical protection gap that leaves your entire investment vulnerable. Title fraud is a growing scam, and criminals know exactly how to exploit it. Is your home's title still in your name? Check your title now at HometitleLock.com.
Kevin paid off over $12,000 in credit card debt with the help of Consolidated Credit. They cut his interest rates and lowered his payments so he could pay off his debt fast. Call 800-596-8062 for a free consultation.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
We got a busy morning here at the White House on this Tuesday morning. We've got the color guard behind me getting ready to line up to meet Prime Minister Carney. He is the latest Prime Minister of Canada. Just had an election just a few weeks ago on that. I'm sure he's going to talk about trade, tariffs, immigration, and whatever's tossed his way there in the Oval Office. Now, we're coming off, I think, a really big day yesterday when we had the NFL commissioner, we had the owner of the Washington Commanders, we had Mayor Muriel Bowser here with President Trump in the Oval Office talking about the 2027 NFL draft. Now, let's talk about how big that is. You're talking about 1 million people, potentially 1 million, coming to the nation's capital for this event. That is not only huge economically. You can imagine the hotels, the restaurants, all of the economic factors that go into when you have that many people coming to your area. So that is a huge economic impact. Plus, I think it's a huge cultural thing as well. If you're a fan of the NFL, you'd love to see new cities being brought in on the draft. Now, you can see behind me, let me step aside and let you take a look at it. Lining up, getting ready to meet Prime Minister Carney. That takes place at around 11:30. Arrival with a bilateral meeting shortly after.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. As you know, just a few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada. And I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take full credit. His party was losing by a lot, and he ended up winning. So I really want to congratulate him. It was probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics, maybe even greater than mine. You know? But I want to just congratulate you. That was a great election, actually. We were watching it with interest, and I think Canada chose a very talented person, a very good person. Mark, would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually, for the big announcement. But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president, the focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here, with the help of my colleagues here. I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And you know, the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can go forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. A few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada, and I think Canada chose a very talented person, a very good person.
Thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president, and I've been elected to transform Canada with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders. The history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together, and I look forward to finding those areas of mutual cooperation.
Obviously, there's a lot of coverage right now about what's happening in Newark in the airspace. Want to just talk about a couple things as background. So the air traffic control system that we use today is anywhere from 25 to 50 years old. We have copper wires, not fiber. We use radar that is, 1983 vintage at the earliest. A lot of it's 1970s, some of it even earlier than that. Radios also incredibly antiquated. And so this is not a new problem. We've known this problem has existed. There's been multiple GAO reports over the last 4 years saying you have real problems with air traffic control and you should do something with it before it actually fails. So think about this. The last administration spent $1.2 trillion. The largest infrastructure package ever known to man, they spent, Joe Biden signed right here at this White House. And how much was spent to rebuild air traffic control? $5 billion. And of the $5 billion that was spent or was given, only $1 billion was actually spent. So they have made no investments in the system that we now see having issues in Newark. On top of that, they were focused on things like racist roads. They literally spent time concerned about the word cockpit and changing cockpit to flight deck. It's not funny, that's actually what they spent time on. Or airmen to aeronaut. And so now this administration has come in, and it was shortly after the DC air crash that I started to look at the air traffic control system. And very quickly, I saw one piece of the pie where there was issues, and then scratched further, and there's another piece of the pie. And as we looked at it, we see that the whole system needs to be redone. We need to build a brand new air traffic control system. And it was about 6 weeks ago, I presented that plan to the president. The president has signed off on this plan. I've been working with OMB and others inside the White House. We're going to roll out this infrastructure proposal on this Thursday. We have 47 groups that are going to come. We have unions, we have the industry, we have trade groups, we have the families from the air crash on the 29th of January are going to come. We have legislators. This is bipartisan. You have Democrats and Republicans. All of you fly. All of our families fly. And they want to make sure when they do fly, they can fly safely. And with that, thank you all very much.
Okay, if you've ever flown in and out of DCA, I know you've got this question, and I've got the person I think that has all the answers on this. When it comes to flight delays, we hear a lot about separation of planes right now for public safety. DCA seems to be, in my personal opinion, one of the worst airports that are struggling with on-time departures and arrivals due to safety concerns. But what can we do to enhance the safety of our passengers, but also just be more efficient?
So first off, since we look at the DCA, we've actually restricted how many planes can take off from DCA, so you get a lot more delays coming in and out of this airport. Again, after the crash, we want to make sure it's incredibly safe. But we need a brand new air traffic control system. And if we rebuild the infrastructure for the air traffic control system, as well as having new air traffic controllers in place, it's going to be way more efficient. We get more airplanes into the airspace, coming in and out of airports, as well as it's going to be way more safe. And so this is a role for Congress. Congress has to fund this.
I remember on the campaign trail, President Trump talking about the quality of airports, how we're a little bit below what the world has, the standard. So it's nice to see that there's a focus on that, and that it's nice to see that you're focused on as well.
I appreciate it. The president loves the airspace, and he's like, get it done.
Get it done.
So we're going to get it done.
All right,
Awesome,
thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice.
Liver health is important, but do you know how important it is? What I have been doing that I have been really loving has been taking a shot of dose every single morning. It's so easy to be consistent with because it tastes really, really good. Here is to liver health.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615. Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
Let's spend a few minutes with our own Amanda Head, co-host of Just the News right there with John Solomon. Now, you guys just released a bombshell report that really sheds the light on what they were doing behind closed doors.
Absolutely. So if you guys remember 2 or 3 years ago under Joe Biden, the FBI and federal law enforcement, they were going after parents who were complaining at school board meetings about trans policies and things like that. They were going after lawful gun owners, people who were military service members, devout Catholics. They were going after certain sectors of American society. And a lot of people raised alarm bells and said, you know, it seems like they're going after conservatives. It's kind of like, remember the IRS scandal with Loretta Lynch? It's like, you know, there's a common thread here of people who they're going after. And the messaging from the Biden administration at the time was, well, that's not policy. It's just a few bad apples who are going after these people. Well, as it turns out, it was not. Those were not exceptions. That was, in fact, the rule. So DNI Tulsi Gabbard released this unredacted document, and it's pretty damning. Basically, the Biden administration, or Biden's DOJ, directing FBI agents and federal law enforcement to go after what they referred to as concerning non-criminal behavior. So concerning, but non-criminal.
But non-criminal.
Now let me read you this quote, because this is the most dystopian 1984 you-know-what that you have ever heard. For decades, FBI agents have been required to meet stringent requirements for opening criminal and national security investigations. That's what's called a predicate. The predicate for a full investigation required an articulable factual basis that reasonably indicates a crime or national security threat has or is about to occur. I'm sorry, doesn't that sound like thought crime? Doesn't that sound like something straight out of 1984?
Yeah.
Like we think that they are about to do something.
Yeah, we feel that you show the characteristics.
We feel that this person donates to pro-life causes, or this person donates to the NRA or Gun Owners of America. They also donate to Donald Trump. So therefore, is that a predicate in their eyes?
Yeah.
Certainly seems like it.
Yeah, and so you guys released that report.
Yep.
What has been the feedback from the viewers?
People are absolutely infuriated. You know, the thing that's really sad, Brian, and I know that because you've been in politics so long and following this, the sad reality is that it's shocking, but it's not surprising.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People aren't stupid. And when people were seeing these investigations and they were noticing a common theme and a thread between all of them, noticing that the Biden administration, if they're going to go after Donald Trump, of course they were going after Trump supporters. Of course they were going after people who they called it misinformation when it came to the media, but anyone that opposed the Biden administration or the Democrat Party, that's who they went after. And we now know, especially from this document, that it in fact was policy.
It's unbelievable when you look back at how aggressive the Biden policy administration was towards anyone.
And brazen.
And when you called them out on it, they would deny any type of that is just a conspiracy theory. That's one of those MAGA conspiracy theories, when the fact was they were ultimately going after all of us for potential crimes.
Yeah, I think it's in the last 30 pages of 1984, but there's a quote in there that says, their final and most essential command was to ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears. And that is essentially what Karine Jean-Pierre and Joe Biden said every day of their administration. Ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears. And it wasn't just with law enforcement and these types of issues. It was also with the economy. Remember Janet Yellen telling us that inflation was transitory and that, you just don't know what you're feeling, stupid Americans. You're actually doing really well. You think you're poor. You think that you don't have money to feed your kids or send them to summer camp. You're just too stupid to realize that things actually are really great under Bidenomics.
Yeah, there you go. Well, now the economy has turned around, and I've often said this, and maybe I'll ask you while we wrap this up. This time last year, I remember on the campaign trail, I would ask people, are you going on a summer vacation? A lot of families could not save enough money to go on a family vacation because they had to buy school supplies, things like that. I ask you, your family circle, friends, family, church, neighbors, are people optimistic about going on a summer vacation? Do they have money to spend?
I think so. For me, I'll admit this, I'm not typically a vacation taker. I haven't actually taken a vacation since probably before COVID. But I think for most people, if they desire to go on a vacation, they, even though Trump's economy hasn't necessarily hit people to its full capacity yet, once these tariffs get settled and the economy really gets roaring with the injection of domestic energy production, the economy is really, really going to be booming for Americans. But even just the anticipation that that's going to happen, I think makes a lot of people feel a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more able to spend the money on something, because they know that they're not staring down the business end of a boning knife when it comes to Biden's economy.
It's true. All right, high five our very own Amanda Head. That was a good one, by the way. That wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt. She's got some power. Amanda Head, everybody. There's a lot of truth coming out of the White House, but on the other side of the black fence, there's a gentleman who calls himself the truth conductor. He has been out front of the White House and on the streets of D.C. for over 50 years. I've got a couple questions for him. Let's go.
I be seeing you on television, dude. How you doing, man?
We're trying to keep everybody together.
Man, I'm trying, man.
You do a good job.
Well,
no, you do a good job. You're out here all the time. Real quickly, if you're not familiar with this gentleman, if you come into the White House, you have been a fixture in this place, really in D.C. for a long time.
50 years. I've been here. Yeah, 50 years I've been here. Actually, I ran for mayor of D.C. against Marion Barrett.
Wow.
In '94.
So when people are out here and you see people first time, what is their reaction to everything that's going on? I mean, your message is, real quick, let's say, stop hating each other because you disagree. The truth conductor, I love it. So what are you seeing out here in front of the White House?
Well, what I do, man, is this is what the world needs. Okay? There's not a country in the world this White House hasn't touched. So in my 50 years of being here, I've learned if people don't see nothing else in the city, they want to see this White House. So why not try to bring them together, since this is where we meet? Why not try to introduce cultures to each other where they meet? And I get a chance to spread my message all over the world. That's what I do.
I think we all have common ground.
We do, man. We just don't. We fight over what we disagree on, and it's just nonsense. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and you've seen a lot of stuff out here. I mean, over 50 years, you've seen.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. I've seen it change, man. Yeah. I've seen. When I came to DC in '75, this was Chocolate City. Okay, it was like almost 75% black. Now it's under 46%.
Why do you think that is?
Gentrification. I mean, we did.
It's unaffordable. A lot of people move out.
Well, actually, it's probably by design, because see, as long as you got, first of all, we're landlocked.
That's true.
Okay, we're landlocked, and if you want the prices to go down, then just let the crime get out of control. And people don't have but so many places they can go in DC. You see, so this is the problem.
What do you think about the current mayor? Is she doing a good job cleaning up the city?
No, she's her time is up. Her time is up. I mean, she's done some good things, but she don't have an answer for the problems that we need.
What are some of the biggest problems you see in the city right now? I mean, other than the unaffordability of people cannot afford to live in the city, but what else? I mean,
what it's always been, jobs and education. That's what it's always been.
Schools.
Yeah, the school system. I mean, only by the grace of God, man. I was a single father. My kids benefited. Both of them went out of the country through DC public school because I was walking the halls. But everybody's not like me. You see, there are some people that are our age. I'm 72. That the educational system has failed them. When they were in school. So now you just compounding the problem. You got generations on top of generations that the educational system has failed.
And the homeless.
Right.
I mean,
you see what I'm saying? We got. I mean, we got money for Israel. We got money for Ukraine. But we don't have money for our homeless veterans.
He's speaking some truth here. I've been saying that for a long time.
All right. I mean, we can take care of everybody else but our own. When are Americans going to be able to live the American dream? You know, how come it's foreigners that can come here and benefit from this country before we can?
You're speaking a lot of truth here.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And
you are the truth conductor.
And look, man,
right now.
listen, it's not about, see, we hung up on this race thing. Man, this is about good versus evil. They're good and bad in everybody. How come the good people in all races can't come together? If we come together, then we can stomp this madness out overnight.
Oh, yeah, we can solve a lot of problems. Man, it's such a blessing to hear you. I heard you screaming at me, and I know I've seen you here every day, and I walk by here, and God bless, man. I think
thank you, man.
You're a good asset to in front of the White House, and I think you're bringing people together. That's what this is meant to do. Bring us all together and to celebrate this great nation. But we do have our problems.
We got our problems.
Yeah.
But we got more in common than we do differences.
That's right.
But we just don't want to. We talking at each other. None of us are perfect, man. We all got some isms in our closet.
I got a bunch of isms in my closet. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, right. We're all flawed.
Yeah, we all flawed.
Yeah.
So let's work on what we got in common.
Yeah.
See, because on this boat, the rich got all the lifeboats. We fighting each other like cats and dogs on a sinking boat. Yeah. The rich got all the lifeboats.
All right, look at that, man.
Okay?
Let's do it.
Hey, wait a minute, man.
Yeah,
Let me get a selfie.
Yeah.
Because I gotta post you. You know I gotta post you on X.
Well, we're gonna post you too.
Okay.
We'll make sure
I gotta post you on X. Because I see you from Anarchy Princess.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Please.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta show.
She loves me.
Yeah, that's what she says about you.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
Yeah.
There's people that make a living off just doing that to me, but God bless her. I let her do her thing. I don't.
But now it's a pleasure meeting you, man. It's a pleasure, man.
Here. And I mean, you got a nice, beautiful view. Look at the view he has every day. It's really nice, right?
I mean, it's
rain, snow, shine. Hell, you're always here every day.
I'm here, man. I'm here because somebody got to do it.
A lot of people come up to you. Obviously, read the sign.
A lot of people are afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid.
They're afraid.
They are afraid. Okay?
Yeah.
And a lot of them believe in the same Jesus and scared to speak to each other.
That's true. I love. By the way, I love the woman with the Jesus Saves flag. I mean, I love to see faith out here.
But see, this is what you got to understand. Nowhere else in the world can you do this in front of where the president of that country is. You can't do this nowhere else in the world.
You're right. You're right.
You see, a lot of people take this for granted.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't do this nowhere else in the world. A lot of the people from other countries come down here protesting, but you won't go home and do that shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay?
Yeah, try protesting what they're talking about in their country.
In their country.
Yeah.
And see what happened to you.
Yeah.
You see? Always a pleasure, man.
Always a pleasure. I'll see you.
All right,
Go
okay.
check it out. Stop hating each other because you disagree. The truth conductor.
Hate and disagreement are not the same.
That's true.
And that's what the mistake that we've made. We've gotten hate and disagreement to mean the same, and they don't. Okay? Brother, thank you, man.
So good.
I'll show
Marjorie I saw you.
All right, tell her.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice.
Liver health is important, but do you know how important it is? What I have been doing that I have been really loving has been taking a shot of dose every single morning. It's so easy to be consistent with because it tastes really, really good. Here is to liver health.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com now.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
Okay, this week we're going to go in-depth with one of the top communication officials here. Anna Kelly joining me now. Right outside the Palm Doors, explain to our viewers the significance of where we're at right now.
Well, as you know, Brian, every time that the White House press pool is called into an event, it's always a gather at the Palm Room door. So this is where you'll see all of the press gather before they cover a major event in the Oval Office, in the Rose Garden. So I know there's a lot of hurry up wait that goes on in this specific spot.
I can't tell you how many times I've actually stood here and thinking any moment now we're going to go inside and then you might have to wait a little bit longer.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of typical, the name of the game. Okay, and then of course on the other side of this goes to the North Portico. So it's just both entrances from this location. Okay, let's talk 100 days. We just celebrated it last week. In your thoughts, top takeaways from the first 100 days?
Yeah, I mean, well, we secured the border essentially in a month, but of course this president is already in 100 days carrying out the largest deportation of migrant criminals in history. Of course, this was a major campaign promise that he is quickly delivering on. Inflation is cooling, gas prices are down, and now we're looking ahead. We hosted the Prime Minister of Canada here today to peace through strength, peace deals, trade deals, budget deals, truly the art of the deal at work in the months ahead. So very exciting.
I think one of the biggest things is it was always promises made, promises kept. And so President Trump promised to close the border. Right. He's absolutely done that. Close the trade deficit. He's in the process of doing that. Ending foreign wars as well. He's had a big hand in it.
That's right. I mean, as I said, you know, his big priority is peace through strength. And I mean, that's why we're seeing so many foreign leaders want to come to this White House. I believe at this point in Biden's term, we were at maybe 3 or 4 foreign leaders coming to America. Now we're at well over 15 foreign leaders coming to this White House wanting to talk to this president. And it's because after 4 years of weakness, obfuscation, confusion by Joe Biden, America's strong again. So it's really important to these foreign leaders all around the world to want to come negotiate and talk to this president.
I like the range of topics that we've been talking about. Immigration. And not too long ago, Kid Rock was in the Oval Office. We talked about an executive order pretty much taking the scalping market away, the ticket scalpers off the board for concert tickets and other events. I thought that was really cool. So it seems like President Trump is taking this very broad approach to making sure he handles every critical issue that we have in this country.
It's true. He has, I mean, truly, I was part of the campaign, and so we saw truly the broadest coalition of Americans come together to support this president. And I think the ticket scalping is a great example, right? That's something that reaches truly across the aisle, so across so many demographics and group of people, including Taylor Swift fans, many of whom may not have voted for this president, but it's something that's so universally popular. And so he's truly delivering in the form of these 140-something executive orders, policies that are not only part of his campaign promises, but are also just universally popular with all kinds of people across the country.
All right, we've had so many events here at the White House, everything from sports teams coming here to world leaders to musics, some of the biggest stars in music coming here as well. For you, what stands out as one of the top few moments that's happened here at the White House so far?
I think Liberation Day, truly. I think what's so cool about this president, as we said, he's built such a broad coalition, and I think he's really focused on bringing people to this building. Of course, transparency, accessibility, that's all a priority for him, and part of that includes bringing across, families across the country into this building, truly making it the people's house. On Liberation Day, we saw farmers, manufacturers, workers, all kinds of people across the political spectrum who are benefiting from President Trump wanting to level the playing field for American American industries. And so I think it was such an honor to be part of that event, and seeing all these broad, diverse coalitions of American people coming together and supporting this, finally, after decades and decades of unfair trading practices, leveling the playing field for Americans.
Yeah, for me it was the Easter egg roll.
Yeah.
I've always heard so much about it, and to be there on the South Lawn was such a beautiful day, and to see all the kids engaging in all the activities and really kind of bringing faith back into this administration that has been removed for the last 4 years, and probably you can say even before Trump was removed, even though he did bring it back, but I think it's bigger than ever. So what's your vision for the next 100 days? As we kind of go, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's around the end of July, kind of wrapping up summer in a way. What's your vision on that?
Yeah, as I said, peace deals, budget deals, trade deals, right? This is the deal maker in chief. That is what the American people know him best for. And so I think we'll see, of course, one big, beautiful bill coming to fruition, hopefully reflecting all of the president's priorities. That's, of course, really important to him. Continuing to see all these trade deals play out, all of these 130 countries who want to negotiate with this president, watching those shake out, and more peace deals. Of course, as we said, this president wants peace all around the world. He wants to stop the killing, and so continuing to see all of those deals play out.
Absolutely, and of course he's going to the Middle East, I believe next week, going to UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, so that's going to obviously play a big part. And then you've got the NATO summit coming up, so the president is literally all over the place. He met with Prime Minister Carney. I think that was some moments in that really got my attention, especially when a reporter asked about being the 51st state. And of course, Carney did reply with, like, that's never going to happen. And of course, Trump said, well, don't never say never.
Right. Well, as he said, it would be of tremendous benefit to Canadians to be our 51st state. Of course, we wouldn't have to subsidize that $200 billion that we do from Canada. They would benefit from secure borders, from less fentanyl trafficking, from, just all around the good policies that we bring here in the United States. So, as he said, it takes two to tango, but of course they would tremendously benefit from that cherished partnership as our 51st state.
Yeah, well, Anna, we certainly appreciate you joining us today, and I know you've got such a busy comms department. Give us our idea on how many messages you guys get a week from people wanting to come to the White House and cover this administration? Oh,
so many. I mean, I'd say, the bulk of my job, as you know, but as people might not know, is just answering questions. And so, of course, from people in this building and around the building, I mean, around the world, really, we have 140 questions, basically, pretty much, that we go through and track and manage all of these questions, and that's just over email. So truly, the day in and day out, my job is spent answering questions from the press, and it's such an honor to be able to work with such a great team. As you know, Caroline is wonderful, and work for such a great president, communicating his message and his agenda to the American people.
Love it. Well, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. This is great.
Yep.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice.
As you get older, your liver health becomes an increasingly important part of the aging process. We created Dose for your liver to make taking care of your liver easy. Dose is an organic blend of liver-supporting ingredients and is clinically backed to promote healthy liver function so that nothing's holding you back.
Just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days and the weight will come off.
You want to know the one mistake most people make when they want to lose weight? They try to overhaul their entire life at one time. My secret is you just commit to 3 weeks at a time.
In 21 days, I lost 10 pounds and 15 inches off my entire body.
Right now, bundle 21-Day Fix with Shakeology, superfood nutrition that helps you lose weight and feel less bloated, and save up to 60%. Just go to body.com today. That's body with an I.com.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
Ready when you are. Okay, we're ready. We have the Prime Minister on the phone, and we have a nice hookup. This looks like the kind of a hookup that's not going to be causing any problems. And your voice comes through beautifully here. So I just want to...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it is. You sound great. I just want to begin by saying that this is a very special day because it's Victory Day, World War II, May 8th. And just by happenstance, we have the Prime Minister on the phone, and we were great allies in that. And it's very unusual that the trade deal comes due, and we signed it up on the same day that we had a great victory, the greatest victory of them all. So we are talking more and more about Victory Day because we were a big part of it, and so was the UK. And it's just, I guess, I don't know what you call it. It's just incredible that that day is the same day that we signed a tremendous trade deal for both countries. So I'm going to begin by just adding that we just concluded the rare earth deal with Ukraine. That's been fully ratified and approved by their legislative branches, and so we appreciate that, and I'll be speaking with the president in a little while, a little bit later, and we appreciate that. But the deal is all now signed up and ratified, and we have access to a massive amount of very, very high quality rare earth. This morning I'm thrilled to announce that we have reached a breakthrough trade deal with the United Kingdom, incredible country. Today is a victory day for World War II. We won the war together exactly 80 years ago, so there could be no more perfect morning to reach this historic agreement. And it's beautiful weather out, I will tell you that, Keir. Beautiful weather. It's so perfect outside. But it's really, in particular, the agreement with one of our closest and most cherished allies. And we're so happy that that's the way it worked out. I want to thank Prime Minister Starmer and his very talented team for their outstanding work and partnership. Today's agreement with the UK is the first in a series of agreements on trade that my administration has been negotiating over the past 4 weeks. With this deal, the UK joins the United States in affirming that reciprocity and fairness is an essential and vital principle of international trade. The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports, especially in agriculture, dramatically increasing access for American beef, ethanol, and virtually all of the products produced by our great farmers. And our Secretary, as you know, of Agriculture is here. Brooke, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
You'll let the farmers know. In addition, the UK will reduce or eliminate numerous non-tariff barriers that unfairly discriminated against American products. But this is now turning out, I think, really to be a great deal for both countries, because it'll be really great for the UK also. So they're opening up the country. Their country is a little closed, and we appreciate that. They'll also be fast-tracking American goods through their customs process, so our exports go to a very, very quick form of approval, and there won't be any red tape. Things are going to move very quickly both ways. The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved. So good for both countries, and we'll also receive new market access for American chemicals, machinery, and many other industrial products that weren't allowed, and they'll end up getting products that they'll be able to price, and if they like them better and we make great products, they'll be buying those products, but they were not available in the UK.
Thank you, Mr. President. Donald, and this is a really fantastic, historic day in which we can announce this deal between our two great countries, and I think it's a real tribute to the history that we have of working so closely together. Can I pay tribute, Donald, to your negotiating team as well, particularly Howard and Jameson, who've done an incredible job, a very professional job, and my team as well. Two negotiating teams have worked at pace now for a number of weeks to bring in this deal today. Really important deal. This is going to boost trade between and across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs but create jobs, opening market access. And as you say, Donald, the timing couldn't be more apt, because not only was it 80 years ago today that victory came for Europe after and at the end of the Second World War, but of course on that day the UK and the US stood together as the closest of allies. And Donald, I think even down to the hour, because you may or may not know that it was about this time of day, exactly 80 years ago, that Winston Churchill announced victory in Europe, and that led to great celebrations across Europe, across America, but particularly in the United Kingdom. Literally people going out into the street, putting bunting up, going up to the palace. And so to be able to announce this great deal on the same day, 80 years forward, almost at the same hour, and as we were 80 years ago, with the UK and the US standing side by side, I think is incredibly important and makes this truly historic.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. It's a great honor. We just made a very big deal with the UK, United Kingdom, on trade, which is shocking everybody. They said, oh, gee. And we just had the Ukraine. We just were notified that Ukraine just approved our big rare earth deal, which could be worth trillions of dollars. A lot. And overall, we're doing very well. We have a lot of things happening. We have a very big conversation in Switzerland taking place this weekend with China. Has anyone heard of China recently? Yes. And they want to make a deal very badly, and I wouldn't be surprised, but we have tremendous things happening on trade, the likes of which we've never seen before. The UK deal was a big one. They've been trying to make that deal for 25 years. They've been unable to do it, and we were able to do it, and it was really something special. The Prime Minister was on the phone and the whole thing. It was really great. So as we celebrate Military Mothers today, we look forward to an incredible future for the United States Armed Forces and for our country itself, and for those great service members, and for all of you who love them so much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce that very special woman that I talked about, our great First Lady, and she's loved by all. I just walked by the Rose Garden, and that is the most beautiful thing. We saw it yesterday. You know, she took a lot of heat. She did it. It was so gorgeous, and these people couldn't do that if they tried. And those flowers were blooming. I said, how the hell, two weeks ago, this is like beautiful green, but it was not, and now it just happened so quickly. But you did some job. Thank you very much, honey. Come on up.
Motherhood. The life-changing event that makes women invincible and exposed at the same time. It's remarkable, really, that my son's life creates unimaginable, unpredictable concerns and thrills for me, even until this day. All caring mothers understand this rare feeling. Nothing against fathers, of course. But in my opinion, and I'm sure everyone in this room agrees, only a mother can grasp this particular point. Military mothers and America, together, have developed an extraordinary parallel journey. They are filled with stories of personal sacrifice, determination, loss, and healing. Certainly, Only military mothers have experienced this level of grace and resilience of American life. Let us unite to honor the beauty of motherhood, champion the grace of our journey, and inspire those who follow. A mother's love and wisdom empower our children to flourish, instilling in them the courage to reach their full potential. Motherhood. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Okay, so thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on Sunday in America.
See you next time on Sunday in America, only on Real America's Voice.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time. So why do so many dog foods contain awful things a human would never eat? To save his pets, world-famous veterinarian Dr. Marty knew he had to change what was in their bowl.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, my breakthrough formula that's changed everything about dog food.
Nature's Blend contains nothing but all-natural ingredients designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching and paw licking, even moving around better. And that's because Nature's Blend is freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, we gently preserve them. And you'll see the difference in your dog.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues. He's healthier, he looks better.
Dr. Marty has thousands of 5-star reviews. And for a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV. That's drmartypets.com/TV.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is perfect cook technology for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system, all for just $39.99. Order now.
Cable TV transformed how we experience the world. 24/7 sports, breaking news, and endless entertainment, all from your living room. You're paying a premium for your TV service, but behind the scenes, just a few massive corporations control most of what ends up on your screen. They flood your provider with their own content, leaving little room for fresh, independent voices. That pushes out the channels you actually want, like the one you're watching now. Accurate weather that keeps you prepared, inspiring messages that lift you up, popular podcasts that keep you informed, real news that doesn't follow a script. All of it is at risk of disappearing, but you can help change that. Scan the QR code to send a message to Congress. Independent programming matters. Let's bring fairness and choice back to cable. For you, your family, and your freedom to choose. More voices, more choices, more creativity. Act now. Get ready for Smackdown with Darrel Scott. You've been served. No political nonsense here. The truth will set you free. Smackdown with Darrel Scott starts now.
Welcome to Smackdown. I'm Darrel Scott. Got my sidekick bobblehead right here. He's on time this week. I had to check him last week because he ran in here late. We don't play that around here. You either come on time or just don't show up at all. You ain't no late stuff. And my road dog, James Davis, riding shotgun. What up, James?
What's happening, sir?
Man, we back out here.
In these Smackdown streets.
There's a lot going on in the world, man. Right before our taping, white smoke billowed from the chimney of the Vatican, indicating that Donald Trump was no longer in consideration. to be the new pope, man. Shucks.
I was pulling for him. You know what I'm saying? He's a comeback kid. We has the greatest political comeback in the history of the world. I was pulling for him to be the vicar.
Yeah, he might as well. I mean, all the other world leaders done bent their knee.
He
one
already,
at a time.
Yeah, he's practicing getting his ring kiss. So he already got that. Everybody coming to kiss the ring.
He got that part down pat. But White Smoke came out, man. And, you know, there was some consideration that there was going to be a black pope.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Yeah. It was.
Now, you know how we would have known that there was a black pope?
How is that?
If the smoke had been menthol.
The billowing Newport 100s coming out of the Sistine Chapel.
But anyway, you know, everybody had their shorts in a bunch last week because they posted a picture of Pope Trump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Losing
and then they got
mind.
mad because he saw it, liked it, and retweeted it. He retruthed it.
Right. He retruthed it.
You know how they do out here in these streets these days with AI and everything? They took it to another level. And it went from the picture of Pope Trump to the Pope Trump video. Watch this. Man, look.
That's right.
The media went crazy with this one.
Yeah, but they ain't punking nobody. We doubled down. It was a picture first. Now they would have stopped there, but since y'all want to have a meltdown, they come back with the video.
Our Catholic brothers and sisters, the Catholic friends were upset. Some of them were, some of them weren't. Yeah. The media tried to make a big deal out of it. Katie Tur, who happens to be a friend of mine. In fact, I talked to Katie a couple of weeks ago. She had this to say on MSNBC.
Trump apparently thinks it is really cute to pretend that he could be the next pope. So much so, he posted this AI image of himself as the pontiff and doing it while the Vatican and the Catholic world are still in mourning. It is a move that any other politician or public figure would be vilified for. The Catholic bishops of New York State were not amused, saying, quote, "There is nothing clever or funny about this image, Mr. President. Do not mock us." The president was asked about the post at the White House earlier.
I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from. Somebody did it in fun. It's fine. Have to have a little fun.
Hey, man, they ain't like it.
Right. And that's where I was stuck. Like, they think that he's in the bathroom with an AI app and got his picture and put it on there. It was obviously made by somebody else, but I guess in their mind, he ain't supposed to like it and send it out there. It wasn't a mockery. It's just Trump being Trump. If it's funny to him, if it's cute to him, he sends it out there.
I remember when LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade all teamed up in Miami and they had their press conference, right? And they were getting some criticism. And Chris Bosh said something that was very, very profound.
What is that?
You know what he said?
What did he say?
Y'all don't like it, but we like it.
That's profound in its simplicity.
That's the MAGA response to the Pope Trump. Y'all don't like it.
But we like it.
But we like it.
And if you don't like it, just turn.
And it was funny. He said, "Hey, man, it's just a joke." You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the world when Trump's in power. They can't take a joke.
Yeah, but meanwhile, this is what's back to the real world. Look at this.
All right, breaking moments ago, the April jobs report just released showing steady gains amid some economic uncertainty. I want to bring in CNN's Matt Egan, who joins me now with more. All right, what are we seeing in the numbers? What is the context here?
Yeah, Omar, we were bracing for a slowdown in the jobs market. We did not get that. We got steady hiring. This jobs market is just relentless. Let me run you through the key numbers.
Yeah, let's do it.
177,000 jobs were added in the month of April. That easily beat forecasts for 135,000. So not even close there. The unemployment rate stayed low. It stayed at 4.2%. When we look at where the jobs are right now, we're seeing solid gains in a number of places.
Hey, man, the economy was supposed to crash.
Yes.
The stock market was supposed to crash.
Yes.
There's supposed to be economic instability throughout America. Americans in the streets, hungry, homeless, harried. And they predicted 135,000 new jobs, and there was actually 177,000, and the unemployment rate stayed static. Man, what's up with that?
Yeah, well, let them tell it. We're getting ready to be in a soup line and get your bowl ready because everybody's was going to be 40% unemployment. Again, you can't listen to people that read teleprompters, concerning finance. And I always, like we always say, don't bet against the president. The stuff that he's doing is working. He's only 100 some odd days in. And look at what's happening. Better than what was expected. Everything that was lost for everybody that was peeing in the bed and panic selling in the market, a handful of weeks ago, it nearly is all recovered now. If they'd have just held on to it, they'd be back in the positive. So what you going to do with these people?
You ain't lying. I was talking to this doggone clown lady that walked up on me. I talked about her in the store a couple of weeks, and I told her, you need to stop believing everything you hear and see on certain media outlets. You need to stop believing all of it now. Just use some common sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she got mad because I insulted her. But you know what? Here's the thing, and this is what Trump does, and this is what I do a lot. There's a difference between equal to and same as.
Okay.
And it's like, how do you want to be treated? Women and others, you're equal to or same as. Equal to is one thing. But Trump treats people same as. In other words, if Trump would tell a man to shut up, he'll tell a woman to shut up.
It's the truth.
It's same as. Which one you want? You want equal to or same as? You want to go piss in our bathrooms? Then you want same as.
Right. I heard somebody say, well, he's an insulter. I say he's an equal opportunity assaulter. He don't care. It's the race, color, creed, religion, no matter. You're going to get that. You're going to get that smoke. You come at him, he's going to counterpunch you no matter what race you are.
Yeah. Now you mentioned something about the 100 days.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the boss has to say about the 100 days himself. Let's get it straight from the boss's mouth.
In the administration statement.
As we reach the 100 days, what do you see as your main agenda items for the next 100 days?
I think we had the greatest 100 days in the history of our country for an administration. I think we've done more. We've gotten rid of woke. We're strengthening up our military. Think of it. 6 months ago, we had the worst numbers in the history of our military for joining our military and police. Now we have the best numbers we've ever had. Just think of that. It's not even possible. Inflation's down. All costs are down. Everything is down other than, as Tristan said, the thing that you carry the babies around in, but that's up 3%. Energy's down, gasoline's down. Nobody's ever seen anything far ahead of schedule. So people that were paying a lot for groceries are paying a lot less. And interest rates are even down. We have a very stubborn Fed, but Fed should lower, but that's okay. But interest rates are down, mortgage rates are down. It's pretty amazing. So we've done, I don't think there's ever been a better opening 100 days. We have a lot of fake polls where they interview Democrats, not Republicans, but meaning more Democrats. I had a pollster that said to me, a legitimate pollster, John McLaughlin, top person. He said he's never seen polls that were so fake before, where they overweight the Democrats. And I only bring that up because I think it's something that should be said. It's a shame how dishonest the media is. The media is corrupt and they're dishonest, and they're so bad for our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
The greatest 100 days in the history of the United States of America, man.
Literally, since Eisenhower started doing the first 100 days, no one has been better. But if the media had
hold on, man. We're going back to George Washington, man. Ain't no Eisenhower. George Washington. All the way back to George Washington. The greatest 100 days of any presidential administration in the history of this United States. Don't be talking about no back to Eisenhower.
He the guy that started the 100-day thing, so I just thought we was
He's
going
the first
there.
one saying something about it. But the 100 days was still out here.
Back to George Washington there. This is the best 100 days so far. But if we had an honest media that had an ounce of honest reporting, all these polls and all that nonsense, they would be in favor of this president because he's doing a great job.
He said it's the greatest 100 days and the worst line polls. Let's sum it up. Let's go take a little trip down memory lane and get the best of Trump. Well, some of Trump's greatest hits. You know what they do sometimes when an artist doesn't put out a new joint, they just put a greatest hits package together because they want to release something. We're going to do some of Trump's greatest hits right here.
This is something you shouldn't have. What was that? Is that a dog? It's Hillary.
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3. So far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her. No. She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
I don't like mosquitoes. I don't like those mosquitoes. I never did. Okay, speaking of mosquitoes, hello, Hillary. How are you doing?
Hey, real quick, James, you and I personally know how he feels about mosquitoes. Remember that time you and him, President Trump, you, me, Keith Schiller, we were riding in the car and that mosquito got in there. Dude almost jumped out on the freeway.
It was a problem. The Secret Service going to have to stop and, abandon ship because Trump don't play that with them insects.
Like, there's a mosquito in here, bro. And the Zika virus was out there, too. Get the mosquitoes out of here. Get it out. Roll the window down, Keith.
The most dangerous animal they put on the list is a mosquito. It kills millions of people every year. He was like, not here.
Not here. All right, we'll be back.
I didn't realize my digestion and my energy levels were all connected to my liver health. And that's what I found Dose.
Within weeks, I felt the change. I went from dreading to get out of bed to jumping out of bed. My wife keeps asking me, where is all this energy coming from? And it's all thanks to Dose.
Just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days and the weight will come off. You want to know the one mistake most people make when they want to lose weight? They try to overhaul their entire life at one time. My secret is you just commit to 3 weeks at a time.
In 21 days, I lost 10 pounds and 15 inches off my entire body.
Right now, bundle 21-Day Fix with Shakeology, superfood nutrition that helps you lose weight and feel less bloated, and save up to 60%. Just go to body.com today. That's body with an I.com.
Parents, America's faith is fading. Schools are pushing out God, leaving our kids adrift. We created the Kids Guide to our One Nation Under God so you can share the faith and heritage that built our nation. And right now, you can get it for free at freegodbundle.com. That's freegodbundle.com.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
President Trump, back in office, James, is doing what he does very, very, I'm not going to say doing what he does best.
Okay.
But he's doing what he does very, very well. You know what that is?
What's that?
Get out in these streets and talk smack to the American public. He recently went to the University of Alabama.
Yes.
And to do their commencement ceremony, and he had himself a good old time with those college students. Watch this first one.
For asking me to go through with that stuff, but it's pretty descriptive, isn't it, really? It helps when you know that borders are not racist, speech is not violence, America is good, terrorists are bad, men can never become women, police are not criminals, and criminals are not victims. Eighth, everybody should believe.
And he got up there and just refuted the entire platform of the Democratic Party in like 15 seconds or something.
Literally, I mean, just leveled them, unashamed, unabashed. It's like Cat Williams said, our president is everywhere except the White House. He out here in these streets, and the cameras is back there. So all that stuff y'all believe in, I'm about to dash it up against a stone.
He tore him up, man. He laid that out, though.
He did.
So here's another snippet from it.
Funny. That's not here. That's not here in the actually, most of what I've said tonight is not on the teleprompter. That's all right. Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter and can sort of have a little fun?
You know what? We don't like teleprompter Trump.
Right, exactly.
We don't like teleprompter Trump, man, because, when he goes to the teleprompter, we go get some popcorn, we go turn around, we itch, we scratch, we look around, we look at our phones, we check social media, but as soon as he gets back up there, teleprompter, we're back mesmerized.
You know what I mean? Because I'm in my phone, I'm looking at what's going on, changing the channel, coming back to it. It's like, call me when Trump get off the prompter. But he does well because he can go extemporaneous, as we say, with no notes, unlike the last guy that had to set up a little phony White House with a desk level teleprompter so that he could talk and give him every single word to say. There was nothing that came out of his brain directly.
Hey, after he got out the streets, he got in his other comfort zone. Yeah. Media. He's a media guy. He said that to me on a number of occasions. I'm a media guy. He likes that media. And so he sat down to do some interviews. And, they think they're interviewing. They think that they're using this opportunity to interview and get Trump. And they don't realize that when Trump agrees to an interview with the liberal left-wing media, let me tell you where he's taking a page from. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. He's luring them to their death, man, by 1,000 words.
Yeah, I do a radio show every Wednesday, and that's all they want to talk. I'm like, y'all fall for it every week. I mean, this is just the dumbest conversation. Alcatraz, whatever Trump say, we're gonna make the biggest deal out of it. But he lures you in, and they so stupid that they keep falling for it every single time.
He sure does. Watch this.
Had the election not been rigged, I would have been out of here. I would have been gone. The radical left would have said, we got rid of him finally. But no, now they have me for another 4 years. We talk about that.
He gave that one. Then he sat down and did some more interviews, something Joe Biden never would do. Watch this.
I want to treat people fairly, whether they voted for me or not. I want to have a unified country. It's very hard because the media is so fake, including, like even the way you ask questions. Every question is asked in a negative vein. There's a toy company that took a toddler's, whatever. But you don't talk about the fact that gasoline is down at numbers that nobody believes possible. You know why they're down, by the way? Drill, baby, drill. We're drilling like crazy right now.
We try to make sure every question is fair, Mr. President.
Look, every question you ask says a very negative slant.
No, but look, I'm just curious.
I'm fine for responding to you. I don't think you're very difficult at all to respond to be honest with you. But you know what? You should ask some positive things.
He puts the reporters on their heels.
Yes.
They're supposed to put him on his.
Right. It's totally backwards. I remember back in the day, Tim Russell would put these politicians on their heels. Now they sitting there with the gotcha question. All this stuff going on. Oil went from $120 a barrel down to $60. They would cast somebody in bronze if anybody else did that, make a statue out of them. But with Trump, we find one little sector. The strollers is expensive. So we're going to try and hang you with that. It's just dumb.
Man, oil is down. It's back to the pre-Biden.
Right.
It's like when Biden got to be president, got to wiping out these deals, these pipeline deals and all that stuff with the stroke of his pen, with the executive orders, man, gas prices went from $2 to $5 overnight. Everybody like, what the hell? You're talking about voters remorse. Right. That's where the voters remorse came in.
Thank you. The strategic reserve, all of that stuff. And then the Middle East told him to kick a rock when he said increased production for my political purposes. So we have a smart man back now. Let's put it that way.
Every time they try to do a gotcha question to him, he winds up getting them. Here's another. Peep this.
Let's talk about the border. Let's talk about deportations. Border crossings are at their lowest level ever recorded. Is the border
Is that good?
Is the border now secure?
Yeah, it's really secure.
It's absolutely
Isn't that good?
secure.
When you say that, doesn't that just sound good? After being abused for years by an incompetent president that allowed people to pour through an open border, criminals from all over the world, murderers and insane people from mental institutions and insane asylums. Isn't it a beautiful thing when you say it's the most secure it's ever been in the history of our country? Isn't that a nice statement?
Hey, man, she wants to ask him questions and he turns it into a commercial.
A commercial, right.
a Trump commercial. But he doesn't ever miss a chance to throw his opponents, adversaries, antagonists under the bus. Watch what he did to Fancy Nancy.
If I own stock in something and I do a good job and the stock market goes up, I guess I'm profiting. But who really profits is somebody like Nancy Pelosi, who uses inside information. She worked for $175,000 a year, and that's at the high end, and she's worth $150, $200 million. Okay? You ought to look at Nancy Pelosi, and you ought to look at some of these politicians that are stone cold crooks. I was very wealthy when I came in. Being president, I probably cost me money if you really look.
Hey, man, you couldn't say it better, could you?
And not at all, because they got a whole app out there now that follows Nancy's stock picks because they know she is basically an inside trader. So we get to pick from her whatever she's doing. But Trump is right. How you making $175,000 a year and you worth 9 figures unless you're doing something crooked?
And you've been, how long has she been in office?
For a dinosaur. I can't remember. I remember young Nancy in like her 50s or something, and now she's in her 80s. She's 30-something year. Right.
You said young Nancy. I thought I was going to say her 20s.
She's been there forever.
And getting paid off $175,000 a year salary. She sure has some incredible insight.
Thank you. No, she's such a genius in the stock market that she was able to parlay that somehow into that, but we know what it is.
Yeah, and then he called out the 2 J's, Jasmine and Joe.
Oh, Lord.
Beat this.
I can't name one Democrat. I mean, I look at the Democrats, they're in total disarray. They have a new person named Crockett. I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. And they said, she's the future of the party. I said, you have to be kidding. I don't know what they're going to do. And I really believe in a 2-party system. Because it's good to be challenged. It's really good to have a 2-party. You know, it's good. Being challenged is okay. It keeps you sharp. I don't know what they're going to do. They have nobody. Bernie's 87 years old or something. And you know, Biden is the worst thing that ever happened to old people because he was grossly incompetent. And I think maybe for artificial reasons, you know, he had operations and things. So maybe that's an artificial. But I know people that are unbelievably sharp and they're older than 87. But I watch Bernie Sanders. He's a nut job, but he's still sharp. He's sharp as you. He's the same guy he was. He hasn't gone down. But Biden is really, he's the worst thing to happen to old people.
He's the worst thing that ever happened to old people.
Like, what? Where did this come from? But he's right. I mean, he out there, you know, trumping this, trying out this nonsense with this socialist stuff that he wants to do, getting a little bit of a crowd. But And like you said, he knows people that are just as sharp, but this is their leaders right now. You got a socialist and a dummy. I mean, a complete total dummy in Crockett.
Thank you. Instead of Crockett, she's Crock of. Crock of crap. But hey, man, speaking of old people, this just came to my mind. I was at the grocery store with my wife.
Okay.
I went up to Myers.
Yeah.
You know, they got everything. They big like Walmart with food and clothes. And I was over looking at, what was I looking for? Something for landscaping. They had a whole wall of Depends, right?
Oh, gosh.
No, listen. All the guys on the Depends were younger than me. Like they had a young black dude around 30. Right. They had all these people, and I was like, man, young guys rocking Depends these days. I might get me some, because I get sick of getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning having to go to the bathroom. Now, if they can channel, I might check some out. If they're able to somehow channel the fluids into a different direction and keep me dry till the morning, I was tempted. I was like, man, these guys out here look 30 years old. What the hell they doing on the Depends are bad for?
I've seen that.
You saw it?
I saw it, like a young, he probably in his 30s or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, how is he incontinent? He the spokesperson for incontinency.
I guess you don't have to be incontinent. You just don't feel like getting up and going. I feel him on that. I get sick of that stuff.
3 o'clock in the morning, hitting your toe on the bed.
That make you cuss right there.
For sure.
Okay. But anyway, Trump, back again, having a good time. He's the king of hecklers. Watch this.
Just some advice, because you come under fire a lot. Our moms are standing for things that often the media attacks them on. We'd love to get some advice from you about running for office.
Yeah, so I would say don't do it.
No, run for office. We want you to run for office.
I do say this, though. It is nastier to run as a Republican. It is. Now, I'm the ultimate, they suffer from a thing called TDS. Do you know what that is? Yes. TDS, it's a horrible, horrible terminal disease. It destroys the mind. It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome. They have it at levels. They can't even stand their life. They can't stand anything. And, part of the reason is I won an election which everybody said couldn't be won.
Hey, man, I know a whole lot of folks that suffer from that.
It's bad out there. It's contagious, but Trump is so dialed in to culture, right? To understand the definition of all that stuff. And that's why he's so endeared and liked by everybody. And they try to say, oh, we're humanizing Trump with all this. No, he is a human and he's funny. He's hilarious.
He humanizes himself. All right. We'll be back.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping? Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full-body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy Massage System and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order, the sooner you can experience the true remedy for your pain, stiffness, and stress. Call now.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-690-6127 or visit buybullshot.com now.
The artist formerly known as Kanye West. Now he's BKA Ye, or Ku Klux Kanye. Is back out here in these streets, James. We saw him. Last week we saw him. He had his new gear. He had his gear. He had his black clan robe, and he was talking about how he had a white one, but he wasn't wearing the white one yet. But the white one was leather. So he got his gear, got his stuff, and he was like, on my white robe, my chain fit good. But anyway, he's back out here in the streets, man, with a brand new. He got his new album out.
Okay.
But then his latest release, you know what the name of it is?
What is it?
Heil Hitler.
Oh, gosh.
Can't make this up. He's on there talking about, they took my kids. I can't get my kids back. They shut my bank account down. Jews. The Jews bad. And all of this stuff, man. The new joint, Kanye's newest hit, Heil Hitler.
I was pulling for him back in the day. I was like, you know what? He's not as crazy. There's that fine line between genius and crazy. But I'm just like, nah, he's 3 kinds of crazy. He put the AZ in crazy, and then now with that Klan stuff, and now Heil Hitler. It's like, you can't make it up.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this thing. That is the freest man on the face of the planet.
Yes, now I will agree with that. Ain't
Somebody
nobody free as him. Right.
You can't blackmail him.
You told everything. What happened when he
all the time.
Yeah, when he was 12 years old, telling all that stuff happened in his house and everything. So
hey, watch this. Right around the time, I don't think I've ever told this. Right around the time of the inauguration, he called me. Him and his people called me.
Wow.
Because they wanted to go to the inauguration.
Wow.
And they wanted me to take him in with me.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I would take you in under this condition.
Right.
And I wrote out a statement. I think I still got the statement in my phone. I wrote out a statement. I renounce all of my anti-Semitism.
Yes.
I'm sorry for the crap that I was saying.
Yes.
I wrote out because I was like, man, I'm not walking you in there, and
you.
I'm being responsible for your stock. I'm walking in with Kanye.
Right.
Man, you're trying to get me locked out. I said, you release this statement, and I'll take you in. So I sent him the statement. And he hit me back. I will not be attending the inauguration. I still got it in here somewhere, man. I know I still got it in my phone.
See, but that's the thing. He is he gonna stick to his guns. Like you said, he a free man. He didn't want to go that bad. He was willing to renounce this because you'd have been guilty by association. They'd have hung you. You hanging out with Ye. You brought Ye in here with all that nonsense that he talking. But once again, Kanye gonna Kanye.
I wasn't taking him in there. Like, look like you ain't going to the inauguration then, bro. Then he gonna jump out there and say, they tried to make me make an apology. You're damn right I did.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not taking you to the inauguration, man. And that's it. Meanwhile, our favorite clown.
Okay.
Clowndas Owens. She ain't Kundis no more. Yeah. She's Clowndas now.
Right,
she back out here again. They went and got her, Ye clowning. And here's the thing. She's trying to act like she still has this personal relationship with Ye.
Right.
James, I know. For a fact.
Right.
He done dropped her like a bad habit. I'm telling you, I ain't telling you what I think.
Right.
I'm telling you what I know.
She blocked.
But folks that said, I ain't being, she probably the reason I'm in the mess that I'm in right now. For real. So you don't mess with her like that, but she's not going to tell anybody that. But anyway, let's look at what she had to say.
I mean, this is him doing, Ku Klux Klan imagery with swastikas. And so it's so brazen. It's so
taunting. And you talk about people who are directly attacking people. He's directly attacking Jewish people when he does this and making them feel extremely uncomfortable, extremely threatened by this, because he's got 32 million people following him on X alone. You know, his social media firepower to galvanize hate against the Jewish people is being laid bare, isn't it, in real time?
Just a question for you. When you saw the Klansman hoodie, why did you say taunting against Jewish people but didn't mention anything about black people? Yeah, but it's just interesting that of the two things you chose to lean into Jewish people and not to speak about what the Klansman hood represents.
Well, both. Let's say both. I mean, they're both, the Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan were both despicable people who targeted certain members of society and wanted to cause them enormous harm, if not kill them. And that's why people are finding what he's doing.
That, like, when I saw the image, I thought you were going to say something about Black America and maybe speak about the fact that Kanye's Black, but you just instantly went to accusing or speaking about how Jewish people felt about it. I think that's interesting. I just find that response to be interesting.
He's literally selling swastikas.
Yeah, Pierce, if you would like to provide commentary on, if you want to provide commentary on Ye, I have maintained I'm not going to participate in Judas culture. I don't believe in the emphasis that has been placed on me, knowing that I have a personal relationship with him, to throw him under the bus publicly. It's not the person that I am spiritually, and I'm just not going to partake in it. And I've not moved on that 1 inch. And in fact, as time goes by, I feel stronger and stronger that I should not participate in that culture, because there seems to be something sadistic about the entire world condemning someone and then an individual saying, well, I need you to do it, Candace, because you have a personal relationship with him. It's strange.
Actually, you know what? We're going to move on. And I wasn't even aware you didn't want to talk about it.
Any person in the entire world.
Girl, stop. Hey, let me tell you one thing she's the queen of.
What's that?
Deflection.
Yes.
You try to deflect and get everybody to leave the deer and chase the rabbit, girl. You got your big fat mouth going about everything else.
Thank you.
Now all of a sudden, why would you ask me? Because I have a personal relationship with him. No, he knows who you are. Y'all ain't got no personal relationship like that. But she all of a sudden it's the deflection, James. She just tried to be the artful dodger and skillfully duck and dodge and deflect because she didn't want to comment on it.
You're sitting there in condoning swastikas. You won't rebuke the swastika, say Kanye is a little crazy with this. He shouldn't do this. We know what this represents. We know where it was birthed from. We know even if you have axe to grind with her anti-Semitism stuff, she could have at least said something to that, but no, just lean straight into the whole Jews run the thing, and Pierce is probably being controlled by the Jews and the network is controlled by, all that nonsense. But clown this is absolutely right. This is grifting. She grifts every chance she gets, and then pick some dumb hill to die on. But she ain't, like you said, she ain't got no relationship with Kanye. This is just her.
Why would you say something? Why would you see the Ku Klux Klan and say about Jews? She said, because he got a swastika
sitting there.
He got a swastika around his neck, idiot. Oh, well, why would you ask me? Because you got your fat mouth going about everything else. And all of a sudden the cat got your tongue. Watch this one.
Yeah.
I will always love Ye. I will always defend him because.
Yeah, see, I'm not saying anything about it. But meanwhile, she has no problem chiming in. All of a sudden, I tried to tell him. I tried to warn y'all.
Warn him.
MAGA, this is y'all's fault.
Thank you.
Because I tried to tell you.
Thank you.
And you know who else tried to tell her?
Who was that?
Blagger. Black MAGA. Black MAGA.
Thank you.
I've got plenty of my Black MAGA friends. We all tried to tell y'all that she was full of more crap than a Christmas turkey. And y'all tried to accuse Blagger of being jealous of Candace.
Thank you.
And we were trying to tell y'all. Now we sitting back saying, see?
Told you.
I told you. Now watch this one. Now she's siding with, she done jumped all the way ship. She's siding with the liberal left-wing universities. She's even siding with Harvard.
Wow.
Look at this.
Trump administration is fighting against free speech in America. And that is very sad for me to say and to report as someone who has been a supporter of Donald Trump. We cannot allow our rights to be infringed upon. And if you think it's going to stop with college campuses, you're out of your mind. So you better buck up and root for Harvard University in this fight. You better hope that they defeat the Trump administration and this absurd definition. They even include parts of the Bible. They're like, you can't say that the Jews had anything to do with Christ, killing Christ, which is, you know what that is? It's not anti-Semitism, it's anti-Catholic.
You're a liar and the truth ain't in you. And you're trying to spin this lie to act as if someone's First Amendment rights of freedom of speech are under a threat by the Trump administration, and there no way, form, or fashion is that. And ain't nobody trying to take out no parts of no Bible either. Shut up. Read the Bible first. You don't know it.
The last thing she need to do is be commentating on scripture. But look at the hypocrisy that bubbled up in that. In the last clip, she says, that's not who I am spiritually, to go against somebody that I have a relationship and a friendship with. and then this one, I can clap Trump all I want to, but you claim to be have been close to Trump and all the rest of that stuff. So again, it's the hypocrisy. She's a reed blowing in the wind. Whichever way the wind is blowing, whatever dumb ideas in her head, she running with it. And then for her to be on the free Palestine from the river to the sea people, because that's all this is right now, because she's on this anti-Jewish diatribe.
Yeah, it is. And they're stopping violence.
Yes.
Like this from being on campus. I wonder if she stands with this. This was just earlier in the week. Watch. James, they commandeered the library at Columbia University, had students intimidated, lightweight hostages. It turned violent. Yep. They became angry and all that. So she's standing with that. She wants them to be allowed to continue to do that on campuses across America.
Yeah, that's not free speech. That's intimidation. That's loitering. That's all. They're breaking laws at this point. And then they said, we're not letting you out of here without an ID, because they want to get a list of who was in there with their mask on. You cowards. If it was free speech, take the mask off and say it with your chest. But no, they want to come in there and tear the library up and have all this intimidation. That's why Trump is threatening to snatch these people's tax exempt status, because you just can't endorse this stuff. And then because now you're basically being funded by the government for this nonsense.
Speaking of free speech, there's been an outcry lately from members of the white community that want to have the freedom to say the N-word in public. Ever since that white lady called that little 5-year-old autistic boy and then it got it went viral, and then all of a sudden a GoFundMe came up to protect her and gave her $500,000. She said, N-word, heck, if I go out there and say how much y'all to give me, I'll say it right here, over there, right now. Y'all raise me up $1 million. Ain't no shame in my game.
With the hard R, not no I'm coming with the ER. If you gonna give me some money, I'll give it to you right now.
So why does Piers Morgan got this doggone idiot on here, this chick Lily? Her only claim to fame is she videoed herself saying the N-word around the house, and it went viral. Right. And now she's saying, I'm a free speech advocate. She's trying to find her grift. She's the free speech advocate now, because the only word she knew how to say was. But you know one thing? They saying all they want to online. Right. Go out in them streets and say it. Walk up to a black woman and say it. And watch what happens. You're going to be running to the police. Watch this.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
That's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
If you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Hey, man, she was on there with that stuff. Then Mark Lamont Hill snapped. Watch this.
Say things to white people all the time, and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
go
not
on, then
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
N-
not have
Go on,
free
say
speech.
go on. Say the N-word. Go on.
No. I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Pierce. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you all very much.
I'm the only N-word up here. And you got all these white people and Uncle Tom over here. Hey, Michael, about here was standing on business.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like the guy, but I like him right there. You know what I'm saying? He's standing like, I'm here. No, you're going to invite her because you ain't going to tell them to say some wicked word that they call the Jews or whatever, but he going to use this so he can go viral. He was
right, though.
He's right.
You ain't going to invite her to say the K word.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what kills me? And then we're going over, you know what kills me? The only word that these people are advocating to say is the N-word.
Right.
They're not trying to say, I mean, I could go down a whole litany of racial slurs. They're not trying to say the Italian one. They're not trying to say the Irish one. They're not trying to say the Chinese one. They're not trying to say the Jewish one. They're not trying to say the Hispanic one. They just want to say the black one.
Right.
So go on out there and say it.
Yeah, go.
Say it. Don't say it online. Go out in these streets and say it. And then, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, go get a ticket to the rap concert or the Essence Festival. Go to the Essence Festival, stand out there in that parking lot and see what they warm your butt and across that parking lot with that ER.
Never lie. All right, we'll be back.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post 9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I faced my PTSD, and I'm a better husband and father because of it.
We help warriors get the expert care and support to thrive.
I got involved. I got healthier. I got to be an athlete again.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
My doctor told me I needed to start prioritizing my liver health.
Dose for Your Liver is a clinically backed supplement that supports healthy liver function.
My stomach feels a lot better.
He has more energy. He sees his grandkids more.
Start your liver health journey today at dosedaily.co. Is your body ready for summer?
We're gonna build a body you can be proud of.
You just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days, and I promise you, the weight will come off.
This is 21 Day Fix, the perfect program to get you summer ready.
I am in perfect shape for my bikini.
I had that sexy little beef.
Get simple fitness, simple nutrition, fast results in just 21 days.
Get ready for summer with 21 Day Fix. This week, try it free at 21dayfix.com. That's 21dayfix.com.
Cooking rice just isn't nice. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch. 1, add the white cup for rice. 2, add the blue cup for water. 3, click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it. The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve. It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed. And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1, 2, 3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-575-5956.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it. Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
All right, we're back for our final segment featuring our Smackdown of the week. It's been good so far, James, hasn't it?
It's been a good day in the Smackdown world.
Hey, man, third runner-up for Smackdown of the week. These two backstabbers that got Joyless Reed, ugliest woman on television, by the way, got ugly Joyless Reed fired and stole her job.
Right.
Simone Sanders and Michael Steele, otherwise known as Big Booty Judy and Cornball. Watch this.
Back out. So we finished
It's a
the
wrap.
first episode.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I need a drink. I need a drink. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we gonna eat. We gonna drink. We gonna party. We gonna eat. We gonna drink. And we gonna be back tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the back, they're like working.
Okay, come back.
Every coon, jigaboo, minstrel, Sambo stereotype you could think of was just illustrated live right there.
You stole my thunder. I was like, they called me a coon for being a conservative. Now, that was coon-tastic. That's coon in a gang. I mean, you dancing, talking about we gonna eat, and then you got him standing, walking by. I mean, just, again, a full display of Samboism.
It sure was. All right, next up, seems like black people get smacked down a lot lately, but we've been acting out. Next up is this esteemed congressperson. From the great state of, I think they're from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
The one, the only, the only one that's married to their brother and advocating for everybody other than American citizens, Ilhan Omar. Watch this.
Congresswoman Omar, I'm Miles Morrell with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Federico Garcia?
I think you should. Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman? Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
He asked her a question about the MS-13 gang member that's over there. She says, F off. He said, who? She said, you. He said, why me? Then the A stepped up, no more questions. All he said was, why me? What I do? Why I got to F off?
Right. Probably on her team. But again, when they losing like this, she's embittered because he's just asking a question like, you sit up, back in this gang member, and we want to know why. And I ain't got nothing to say now.
I'm telling you. First runner up. And they've been ever since they re-emerged, I guess they reimagined themselves, or they coming out or whatever. It's my time for me now. It's been one whine fest after another. If you ain't whining about one thing, you whining about another. The one, the only, Michelle Obama. Here she goes again.
So all of that was in my mind. How would we manage this? So my fears came from the fact that I thought he could win. Because maybe way in the back of my mind, I was hoping that maybe he wouldn't, that this would be the last thing he would do. But I knew he hadn't.
She's on there every week whining about when she was pregnant. She got to talking about how expensive it was. She couldn't afford it. She had to pay. If somebody got a sandwich, she had to pay for it. One more cheap black women. If they got a sandwich, she had to pay for it. If her kids rode on her airplane, they had to pay for that. And it just isn't what you think. It's just so expensive. And we weren't getting any salary while we were running during the campaign. Fool, you did the Nancy Pelosi. Came in there broke, now you got millions. What are you whining about some money for?
9-figure. I mean, they talking about no low level, just 1 or 2 million where the IRS take half of it. These people are worth 9 figures, got 8 mansions. And you see them talking about a sandwich. This is the lack of self-awareness that these dummies have. And it sticks a knife further into the Democrat Party. If this is y'all so-called representative on this podcast, that she's clueless about real life.
I know that's right. And now it's time for our Smackdown of the week. Trump said earlier about Joe Biden making old being the worst thing that happened to old people. Well, the second worst thing that happened to him was this old fart right here. One of the biggest hypocrites in America. Watch this.
Today we say to Donald Trump and the fossil fuel industry that climate change is not a hoax, but is a massive threat, an existential threat to our country and the entire planet.
Your question is said, what are we going to do in decades? We don't have decades.
But the scientists are telling us that we don't get our act together within the next 8 or 9 years. We're talking about cities all over the world, major cities going underwater. When you run a campaign and you do 3 or 4 or 5 rallies in a week, the only way you can get around to talk to 30,000 people. Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United, waiting, 30,000 people are waiting? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that.
All these carbon footprint phonies. Now they talking about, I ain't waiting in line to no United Airlines. I ain't apologizing for it. Going all these different places, I got to fly private. Another thing, they talked about the cities being underwater. Antarctica just picked up. The scientists are baffled because the ice shelf has increased significantly in Antarctica.
Antarctica's got more ice than it had in 100 years. They talk about that on every 5 minutes on the news. Right, I thought we supposed to be underwater. But these hypocrites all own beachfront property. If they thought the water was going to rise, ain't nowhere in the world you buy no house on the beach. And then this hypocrite is in a G5 going from rally to rally, burning more gas than 1,000 cars. But, again, was rules for thee, but not for me.
So, Bernie, your lying hypocritical fart. 1, 3, James. 1, 2, 3, we smack you down. Smack you down, Bernie. Quit lying. Do what you do. You getting your money. You staying alive for however much longer you got left. And until then, hey, man, shut up.
Thank you.
You're a lying sack.
Ride your wave. You did a job till he was 48 years old.
You a lying sack, and we'll be back next week. Same smack time. You a lying sack, and we'll be back at the same smack next week. On behalf of Bobblehead, James, and myself, Darrel Scott, I am out. See ya.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order